Hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. Let's take it slow. Ask me how we got here, 'cause you don't know how. You say we're taking on water, yeah, we're sinking now. You're looking all concerned, like we're gonna drown. But we both know how to swim, no worries as we'll find out. Let's take it slow, where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. Let's take it slow. I drag you out your mind, and there are days I hate you, but baby, you're still mine. And then we have the best times, no matter what we do. And even when we don't, there's nobody I'd rather choose. Let's take it slow, where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Slow, where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me.
What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another Manchester City video. Today we are going to be doing my live watch along of Manchester City's game against Chelsea in the Premier League, and it just so happens to be the big one, ladies and gentlemen. We were thinking to ourselves before the game, is this going to be a game where City need to pick up a point? Is it going to be a game where City need to win to lift the trophy in front of our own fans at home at the Etihad Stadium, because we'd put ourselves into this position to win the Premier League today? And as it was, Arsenal's demise over the last 6-7 games continued, and that continued last night. Around 7:30 p.m. BST, Manchester City became Premier League champions as Arsenal lost away at Nottingham Forest. Coincidentally, Nottingham Forest confirming their safety in the Premier League for next season. But that victory for Forest yesterday has handed Manchester City the Premier League trophy. We do not need to win this game today. We don't need to win any of our games between now and the end of the season in the Premier League. Manchester City are mathematically Premier League champions, and the trophy will be getting lifted today in around 3 hours' time. Looking forward to it. Should be a good one. I'm sure everybody out there still partying, still celebrating what has been a monumental achievement by Manchester City. So before I do crack on with this live watch along, we've got some special entertainment coming up for you guys to enjoy. Don't forget, leave a thumbs up. That would be much appreciated. 75 likes now away from 100 likes. It's Manchester City winning the Premier League. What isn't to like about that, ladies and gentlemen? Please do leave a thumbs up. That would be much appreciated. Also, don't forget to subscribe as well. If you are new around here, press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. Also, don't forget as well, social media links, they're in the description below and on the yellow banner too if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. TikTok link also in the description if you want to go and follow me on there. Also, don't forget to let me know your thoughts in the live chat. We've got Just G Gamer tuning in, going for a 3-0 victory for City to go and lift the trophy in style. Love that. Thanks very much for tuning in. OT, thanks for tuning in, says Carson coming on second half. Gomez going to cook. We're going to go through the team lineup very soon. John, welcome. Thanks once more for tuning in. Much appreciated. Alec as well. Thank you for tuning in. Much appreciated as well. Fantastic achievement, of course, by Manchester City yesterday in winning the Premier League trophy. And we can all sit here today under no pressure whatsoever. Sit back, relax, enjoy ourselves, because we work hard throughout the season. Following Manchester City over the years hasn't been easy. I know lots of people will comment saying City, they've won the Premier League. We've won it now 5 times out of 6. We've done this, we've done that, financial fair play, Liverpool tears, Manchester United tears, Arsenal tears. Don't care. Today belongs to Manchester City, and for a City fan like myself, been following Manchester City now for over 20 years, it never gets boring. It never loses its effect of winning the Premier League trophy. Winning the Premier League trophy, to me, it's the creme de la creme. It's the trophy more than any other that Manchester City fans want to win. And we want to win it because, to me, it's the most difficult to win. It requires no luck. You don't sit on top of a Premier League table through luck. 38 games. It's a marathon. And Manchester City made history yesterday, doing 3 times consecutive Premier League champions for the first time ever in our history. And today, we celebrate. Today isn't about results. Today isn't about performance. Today is a day where we celebrate what we have achieved. And lifting that Premier League trophy in less than 3 hours' time is going to be an amazing feeling. And I cannot wait. And I can't wait to share the moment with you guys as well, watching from wherever you're tuning in from around the world. So do let me know where you are tuning in from around the world. Also, don't forget to let me know your score prediction in the live chat too. That would be much appreciated. Finally, I want to say a big shout out to today's video sponsor, BetMate. Thank you very much to them. Go and check them out. We've got a pot running for this Chelsea game if you want to go and check it out. That is live on the BetMate app. Links, details they are in the description and also in the live chat. So we have gone live an hour before kickoff. We do have team news out for this game between Manchester City and Chelsea. So before we do speak about Manchester City, we're going to speak first about our opponents first, because we are playing. This is a Premier League game. It's a competitive game. So Chelsea lining up today with Kepa in goal, Edouard Mendy benched. Interesting. Going with a back three made up of Wesley Fofana, Thiago Silva and Trevor Chalobah. Right wing back is Cesar Azpilcueta. Left wing back Lewis Hall. Two central midfielders, Enzo Fernandez and Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Conor Gallagher is given the nod in this game, along with Raheem Sterling on the right-hand side. And it's Kai Havertz leading the line. Cesar Azpilicueta, captain for Chelsea today. And Manchester City legend Frank Lampard, manager for Chelsea today. On the bench is Edouard Mendy, along with Kalidou Koulibaly, who returns to the Chelsea squad. You've also got Chukwuemeka, Pulisic, Modric, Ziyech, Fofana, Mandzukic and Joao Felix as well. So a pretty strong lineup that for Chelsea. They'll be playing for pride. They're going to want to try and, well, I say they're going to want to try and finish as high up as possible. The highest place they can finish. If they get some really good results and Fulham don't win last game, they might be able to secure a top half. Otherwise, it's going to be a bottom half finish for Chelsea in what has been a very underwhelming season for a team that spent over £600 million in the last 12 months, which is absolutely monumental. What I have noticed is the odds have been really closing in the closer we get to kick-off. City 13-8 on to win this game. Chelsea 17-4. Odds are starting to narrow with Manchester City's lineup coming out with a draw 3-1. So Manchester City, safe to say, made some changes. Stefan Ortega-Moreno, he's given the nod for Manchester City in goal. So a rest for Ederson ahead of what's going to be an FA Cup final in 2 weeks' time, a Champions League final in 3 weeks' time as well. Stefan Ortega given the nod here. Kyle Walker starts as Manchester City's right back. Sergio Gomez starts as Manchester City's left back. I have a feeling we're going to go back three and we're going to see Sergio Gomez potentially playing a more advanced role. So Kyle Walker right side of centre-back, Aymeric Laporte on the left side of centre-back with Manuel Akanji going through the middle. It's then a midfield three made up of Kalvin Phillips. Great to see Rodri getting what I'm hoping is going to be a full 90 minutes of rest here. Kalvin Phillips comes in. Rico Lewis inverting is going to be starting on there, that right-hand side, which is why I said I think Sergio Gomez may be playing in a more advanced role and potentially sitting alongside Phil Foden. It's Riyad Mahrez starting on the right wing. Cole Palmer gets a start on the left wing for Manchester City today. So interesting to see he's got a more natural position for him to start on the wing. So interesting to see how Cole Palmer does. I would say these next 3 games for Cole Palmer decides what Manchester City are going to do with him next season. So if he puts in a good performance here, he's got every capability here, I'm sure, of being in and around the Manchester City squad for next season. However, if he doesn't start to put in some consistent good performances, I can see Man City potentially wanting to explore the loan market instead. And it's Julian Alvarez starting up top for Manchester City today, and looking forward to seeing what he could do. I'm looking forward to seeing Kalvin Phillips getting a start for Manchester City as well. I'm looking forward to seeing Rico Lewis, Cole Palmer get some minutes as well. I'm excited. It's a second string 11 from Manchester City, yes, but it's also an opportunity here for this team, because if I'm Pep Guardiola, I'm sitting in that dressing room, I'm saying to these players, you want to be getting minutes, you want to be in the squad, you want to maybe start in games coming up in the next 2 Premier League games away from home. If you want to be starting that FA Cup final, you want to be in the squad for that, or in the Champions League final in the squad, or in the starting 11 for that, then you need to earn your place in the squad. And the only way you can do that is through impressive performances. And these players that are starting today, a lot of these players, they're going to be given their opportunity over the next 3 games to impress, to show what they can do. And I can see Pep Guardiola doing a little bit of experimenting as well when it comes to some of these away games, with obviously one eye going to be on that FA Cup final and Champions League final. Naturally, it has to be, because the Premier League is done and dusted. So this rotated squad that City's got out there needs to turn up. It needs to put in a solid performance, because there's a lot of games still to play in retrospect of everything that's still to come. So Manchester City here, it should be really interesting. I'm looking forward to it. A very strong bench from Manchester City today. Ederson, John Stones, Ruben Dias, Rodri, Grealish, Gundogan, De Bruyne, Bernardo, Haaland. So much needed rest for these players. Much needed rest. And this is the type of game where realistically, I don't often say this, but I'm looking for Man City to make no substitutions. I would use this as a brilliant opportunity to rest our first team players. And then over the next 2 games, to keep sharpness up there with them, is make sure that they're getting rotated. So I'd be starting 3 or 4 first teamers against Brighton, 3 or 4 first teamers against Brentford, and making sure the playing squad are getting a good 60, 70 minutes over the next couple of games under their belt to keep that sharpness there, because the last thing we want is for players to have 2 weeks off and come back really rusty against Manchester United. So we'll see what direction City choose to go into. For this game, I don't blame City for rotating. I don't think they'll be rotating as much against Brighton and Brentford. They'll be looking for form, they'll be looking for momentum, they'll be looking for sharpness from the players. So I think if City can go out here, put in a good performance and maybe beat Chelsea, then a few of these players could be featuring against Brighton as well. So I'm looking towards the senior first team players here, looking to make the difference in this game. I'm looking towards the likes of Kyle Walker, Manuel Akanji, Aymeric Laporte, Phil Foden, Riyad Mahrez, Julian Alvarez to really take this game by the scruff of the neck. But in terms of things in general, this game just isn't that important for Manchester City. Yeah, it'd be nice to continue our good form. It'd be nice to win this game. It'd be nice to remain unbeaten. But at the end of the day, what matters most now to Manchester City is utilising this time to get the players fit, sharp, ready to go, ready for the FA Cup final 2 weeks' time, because that realistically is our next really competitive game. But every Premier League game is always going to be competitive, so it should be a good one. So as I said, do leave your score predictions in the comments below. It's a very difficult one to predict, this one, I know. Going off them starting lineups, it depends what Chelsea team's going to turn up. Are they hungry? Do they want to prove a point? If they just turn up and just do that and just turn up and don't do anything else, I can see City's rotated 11 getting something from this game. I can see Manchester City going on to win this game. I don't think it's going to be a comfortable, clean performance from City at all. I reckon probably 1-1 or something like that. Probably be a safe bet. I'd like to say City go on to win this. We can win this 2-0 or something, or a 2-1 would be good. But we'll wait and see as to how City are performing. But I imagine City won't want to lose it. But if we do, I can't see too many players caring. I imagine a lot of the players will have been out partying, they'll have had a few drinks, won't be in the best frame of mind. It'll be unusual, because you want to win the Premier League, you want to win it winning, but also you want to win the Premier League, and the job's already been done for us. So we'll see how it's managed. As I said, it's an important situation that we find ourselves in now, to go on and win the Premier League and lift the trophy today, which is what has already happened. So don't forget, leave a thumbs up, that would be much appreciated. We're aiming for 100 likes now, just 67 likes away, so any help towards that would be much appreciated. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you are new around here. Press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. Also, don't forget as well to go and check out my social media links. They're in the description below, and on the yellow banner too, if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram. Email also in the description too, if you want to hit me up for any sponsorship for any videos or any general business inquiries. Leave your thoughts in the live chat, including where you're tuning in from today and your score predictions for today. Also, don't forget as well to go and check out today's video sponsor, which is brought to you by BetMate. Links and details there in the description. And also in the live chat, the Bill, thanks for tuning in. And Just G Gamer, Chelsea should be doing a guard of honour. We'll see if they do. I reckon they probably will, and we should be getting a guard of honour from Brighton and Brentford as well. So guys, I promise you some entertainment. We have got some entertainment lined up for you guys to sit back, relax and enjoy. So the first of them, just wanted to showcase one of my favourite videos that I've ever produced here on the JSGC channel. I wanted to give a good insight into you people that are viewing from around the world that maybe aren't in such a lucky position as what we find myself in, to be so accessible for the Etihad Stadium to watch Manchester City on a regular basis. But I got to go to the Etihad. I've done a fair few vlogs for you guys to enjoy, to give you a feel of what it's like to visit the stadium and watch Manchester City. And one unique experience that I got, I was lucky to be in a position to go and do, was to go and check out the Tunnel Club hospitality at Manchester City. It's one of my favourite videos that I've ever done on the JSGC channel, and one of my pre-match entertainments for you guys to enjoy. So sit back, relax, grab yourself some food, grab yourself some drinks, and really party, celebrate and enjoy yourselves. What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for a very special special video. We're doing our very late 10,000 subscriber special. I promised it, hospitality at Manchester City, and today, February 5th, 2022, 2 years later, we're here to deliver. The big C19 got in the way of us being able to do this video, but we're here today to be able to do that for you guys, and I am looking forward to it. It's an FA Cup game, 4th round match between Manchester City and Fulham. We're heading to the Tunnel Club, hence we're dressed smart, casual, ready for this. But if you do enjoy this video, do make sure you do leave a thumbs up. Also, don't forget to let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'm thinking if this video is successful of running a series based on hospitality at Manchester City, if that's something you do want to see, just let me know in the comments below, and do leave a thumbs up so I know that you're enjoying it. Also, don't forget as well to subscribe if you're new around here. Press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. Absolutely no reason now why we cannot aim the 25,000 subscribers. That's next up on the watch list. And also don't forget social media links there in the description below and sliding across at the bottom of the screen. Don't go and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram, my email also in the description below too. If you want to hit me up for any sponsorship for any videos or any general business inquiries. We're here in Preston enjoying a pint. We're going to go and descend our way into Manchester to the Etihad Stadium for Tunnel Club, and I'm bringing you with me every single step of the way. Here he is.
Beat me to it.
We've made our way to the Alchemist in Manchester now, where we're on a couple of pipe dreams. Someone's happy.
Yeah. We're on the pipe dream, 1-8.
Proper Manchester weather, I would say. With rain, FA Cup day, 3 PM, City taking on Fulham. Really looking forward to this. So next stop, we're going to go into Tunnel Club. We'll go and have a look at our experience. So we are here now at Tunnel Club. We're sat on the upper level. We have 2 levels, upper, lower. Lower's where the actual tunnel is. That was £480. This is £240 down. On entry, very nice staff. Complimentary drinks as well, which is always nice. And we've got some of the foods which I've been told are continuously taken away and refreshed with other different foods as well. So I'm looking forward to trying them and seeing what they're all about. I'm looking forward to really tucking in because I'm absolutely starving right now. But service has been brilliant. It's been really nice entry into it. A nice compliment. We've got a match day program each, free of charge as well, which is really nice. So yeah, let's tuck in. Got our lamb and beans, looking forward to this. That lamb's so well cooked, them beans complemented so well. That's so nice. That is really, really nice. And like I said with the Tunnel Club, they're just going to keep coming around with different small plates of food. So I'm looking forward to seeing what else there is. I've seen little burgers coming around, so I'm looking forward to trying them. But this lamb, definitely my recommendation. Really, really nice.
I think it's every 20 minutes.
Is it?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, yeah, looking forward to that. On to the King Prawn Burger now, little burger that I was mentioning before. Oh wow.
Really nice.
That's a 10 out of 10. That's a 10 out of 10.
I'm
That
getting
is
9
so
and a half,
nice.
yeah.
Look at the inside. The curry flavour
really
in that,
nice.
that is
Flavour.
so nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
As you can see, guys, I'm on the mushroom risotto. Can't wait to try it. What do you want, Josh?
Crab cocktail.
Crab cocktail, mushroom risotto. Very nice. 8 out of 10.
Crab cocktail. A bit of sauce in as well. Lovely. 9 out of 10. That's really nice. I'm a big fish fan, so that's very nice.
it's a tunnel club, you get to see the players coming in to the tunnel.
It's just made their way over from the Academy Stadium. I'm sure they'll be making their way down the famous blue carpet to join us here in the Etihad Stadium. If you see or make any special memories today, stick on with a hashtag onto Instagram and Twitter, hashtag the Top 4 welcoming Rodri, Ilkay Gundogan, Nathan Ake, Zach Stefan, club captain Fernandinho, John Stones, Liam Delap, Aymeric Laporte, Ruben Dias, James Bernardo Silva, will be that Riyad Mahrez, the Ginger Prince Kalvin Ederson, Joao Cancelo, Raheem Sterling, Scott Carson, and Kyle Walker. Get up run with Jack Grealish.
It's a nice experience to see the players walking through into the entrance of the tunnel club, going downstairs into the dressing room for the tunnels, which was really nice to see. I like Jack Grealish at the end, milking it for all that it's worth. That's all the pre-match food and drink sorted, so we're going to go and head down and go and check out our seats. But before I do that, a quick summary. Very nice. It feels like I'm in a 5-star hotel. Feels really nice and lovely. It doesn't feel at all like I'm in a football stadium. But let's go to our seats.
Took his time. I wonder if it would have been a penalty had it not been. Oh yeah, it would have been a penalty. So
There we go, row V, seat 43.
How
are you finding it? I love it. We're okay, right in the centre, aren't we? Yeah, literally just there. Great seats. Great seats. Still the grim Manchester weather.
So, City lining up today. Stefan in goal, right back Kyle Walker, left back Joao Cancelo, centre back pairing John Stones and Nathan Ake. I'm surprised that Aymeric Laporte and Ruben Dias have been left out, considering we've had 2 weeks off. I did speak about this in my preview in the build up to this game. I'm surprised again with Rodri. He doesn't start, he's on the bench, and it's Fernandinho captaining and starting for Manchester City today alongside De Bruyne and Ilkay Gundogan. It looks like it's going to be Riyad Mahrez returning back to Manchester City from the African Cup of Nations, with Algeria playing on the right wing. On the left wing, I reckon it's probably going to be Jack Grealish, and then going up front, going to be Phil Foden. One of the biggest talking points, Aaron, Jack Grealish has got a new hairstyle.
Yeah, I've heard it on the train that Jack Grealish hairstyle.
He's supporting, he's got rid of the locks, he's having it shaven, and a little bit of a tie up there. I mean, he's had it cut off. Yeah, there we go. Jack Grealish had a haircut. But I said I could comment better about a score prediction now, going off the teams. It's a pretty strong team from Manchester City, as expected. Probably not as strong as what I was expecting. I am still going to stick though with 3-1 to Manchester City.
Yeah, I'm sticking 3-1.
Yeah, Fulham haven't scored past Manchester City. How many games was it in the stats? Was it 14?
Yeah,
14 games.
Since 2009.
Yeah, and City haven't lost against Fulham in 17 games. So they've beaten them 14 times.
Did the greatest game with the beat, yeah?
That could well be it. That could well be it.
I'll have to check it just to check that fact. So I think it might be the greatest game when they pulled it off Fulham.
I'll put it at the bottom with it is or it isn't. I'll fact check that one. But yeah, 3-1 City, excellent seats here. Loving Tunnel Club, we've got armrests just here, nice and comfortable. We're wrapped up, it's February, it's throwing it down, it's Manchester, but it's tradition, it's FA Cup, it's, well, 3 o'clock kickoff, 4th round. Come on City.
And a big blue welcome to the current Premier League champions, our boys in blue, Manchester City!
Both teams to score. See, Fulham, 4 minutes in.
Fulham,
not done anything.
Lead, 5 minutes in.
Bring it across, goal. A minute later, 1-1. Equaliser for Manchester City.
It's out 1-1, 6 minutes in. 1-1.
Golden City straight back in the game. Number 8, Ilkay Gundogan.
Literally just up the other end and scored. 1-1, both teams to score.
Golden City. Goal!
City. Simple corner and header. We never score from corners, and here we are. John Stones, 2-1. Some half-time thoughts from me. City lead 2-1. We went behind. It was Carvalho, man that failed with his deadline day move to Liverpool, that gave Fulham the lead after City had dominated the first 4 minutes. Fulham just broke away, first attack, poked it into the back of the net. I'm disappointed there for the defence. I'm disappointed for Stefan as well, but responded really well just a minute later, scoring a goal and getting back into it. Ilkay Gundogan with a nice tidy finish into the back of the net, and then John Stones, City never score off corners, getting a headed goal from a corner for us, so we lead. Game went pretty flat after that, but hopefully for the second half we can get my score prediction of 3-1, and yeah, we can push on and get into that 5th round. That's all that matters. But we're here now, back into Tunnel Club, pint waiting. You order that just before you go downstairs, and we've got some snacks as well.
Here's our snacks at half time. Looking very tasty, can't wait to get into this.
Penalty given to Manchester City in the 52nd minute to make it 3-1. Grealish with a nice bit of dribbling. He goes down under a challenge. Referee gives penalty. Chance it City to get that killer 2-goal cushion. Nice and simple. 3-1, my prediction. Winner. Jack Grealish made a nice dribble into the box. Got legged up. Penalty given. 3-1. Penalty. I put that on my tip on my preview as well. I may have gone to the bathroom and missed that goal, but 4-1 City. Mahrez again.
the City, number 27, Joao Cancelo, being replaced. The substitution of City teams, number 17, Kevin De Bruyne, being replaced. Number 7, Raheem Sterling. Making his first appearance in the season, sitting number 48, Liam Delap.
Come on, Liam!
By number 87, James McAtee.
Yay!
And finally, coming out the season, number 47, Phil Foden. He's replaced by number 20, Bernardo Silva.
Turn of Liam Delap. I'm happy with that. See if he can get himself a goal on his return. He's suffered a lot with injuries, so come on, Liam. Excited to see James McAtee as well. Just signing a big contract with City. Looking forward to seeing what he can do with Bernardo. That's funny. Raz. Feature the ball in from Gundogan, headed in by Liam Delap. He looked offside. Offside's given. We're just going to wait for VAR to confirm that it is offside, but I think that it is. So 4-1 as we head into the 90th minute now.
Well played, boys!
Full time, 4-1, City through to the 5th round of the FA Cup. Good second half performance there from Manchester City, completely dominated the play, and so we go through. A good game, Fulham played well as well, and we go through. That's the next round. We do have now a cheese platter, a little bit of fruit. I've got some orange juice as well. And hospitality, by the way, for Tunnel Club is open an hour after kick-off, which is what we're going to make full use of now. And that completes my experience here at Tunnel Club for Manchester City. Still very vibrant and loud, and everyone enjoying themselves, which is fantastic after kick-off. But I'm hoping to run this as a series for you guys to enjoy, going to other places. The Chairman's Club tempted me. I'd like to go and do that. I'd like to go downstairs, see what the tunnel's like in Tunnel Club as well. I'd like to go and have a look at some of the bars that they've got and compare them and see which one really offers the best value for money. So if you did enjoy this video, leave a thumbs up and let me know in the comments below, is this a series you'd like to see, and then I'll see what I can do for you guys. But 10,000 subscribers special, all done and dusted. Like I said, we're on that push now towards 25,000 subscribers, so any help towards that would be much appreciated. Social media links, they're in the description below and sliding across at the bottom of the screen if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram. My email also in the description below too, if you want to hit me up for any sponsorship for any videos or any general business enquiries. Also, don't forget as well to like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you all again very soon for the next Manchester City vlog. I've been JSGC. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope everyone enjoyed this experience as much as what I did. Peace. Ciao for now.
What an experience it was attending the Tunnel Club for Manchester City in what was an FA Cup game last season. As I said, one of my favourite videos, so I hope you did enjoy that. Now, I want to whet the appetite. I want to give you guys something to look forward to in the future when it comes to the JSGC channel. And this summer, from June, I am going to be doing daily Manchester City transfer updates. That's right, the series is going to be returning once more, and it's going to be just as popular as ever for you guys to enjoy. So I wanted to whet the appetite because my latest video covering a lot of Manchester City transfer news. I know some of you guys may have seen it, some of you guys may have not seen my transfer update, so I just wanted to give you a little taste of what it's going to be like in the life of JSGC, running from June, throughout all of June, July and August, with daily Manchester City transfer updates. This is my transfer update from yesterday, and is also my final part of my pre-match entertainment as we build up to kick-off. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up, that would be much appreciated. Nearly on 50 likes, so that's fantastic. Do let me know where you're tuning in from around the world and your score predictions for this game via the live chat. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you are new around here. And do go and check out today's video sponsor, BetMate. Links and details there in the description and also in the live chat. This is my transfer update from yesterday, with Manchester City currently exploring the option of potentially Josko Gvardiol coming into Manchester City from RB Leipzig, and him potentially leaving Manchester City. Enjoy. What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another Manchester City video. Today we're going to be doing a Manchester City transfer update. We've got plenty to get through, so make sure, like always, if you are enjoying the content, do subscribe. Remember, going to be doing daily Manchester City transfer updates from June to keep you guys up to date throughout all of the summer transfer window, every single day, with all the latest Manchester City transfer news, the go-to channel on YouTube for all the latest Manchester City transfer news this summer. So if you haven't already, do subscribe. It is free. On that push now to 30,000 subscribers, less than 900 subs away, so any help towards that would be great. Also, don't forget as well to go and check out my social media links. They're in the description below and sliding across at the bottom of the screen if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. TikTok link also in the description if you want to go and follow me on there. Do leave a thumbs up, 300 likes is the aim, and most importantly, do let me know your thoughts in the comments below, as I'm always interested in what you do have to say with regards to these transfers. Finally, I want to say a big thank you to today's video sponsor, which is brought to you by Kitbag. You can go and check out the new Manchester City shirt, or jersey if you're watching from across the Atlantic. 2023 to 2024 kit for Manchester City. Their home shirt is live and available on Kitbag. The link is in the description. £70 it is available for. Go and check it out. You can go and get all your favourite players on the back and everything. So do go and check that out. Links and details, they are in the description. So let's crack on with this video. We're going to start off with the outs, and we've got the very latest on James McAtee, and he has had a more solid offer at the moment from the Bundesliga than he has from the Premier League when it comes to a potential loan for next season. Alan Nixon on Twitter has been reporting that Manchester City are contemplating their options as to where they want to loan him for next season. And the most interesting part of this is it's currently being spoken about a loan and not a permanent transfer. City hold James McAtee in a very high regard at the club, and so looking to potentially loan him. I was speaking in my last video saying that potentially we should be looking at the Premier League rather than the Bundesliga, but the Bundesliga showing more interest in McAtee right now, and he could well be heading there instead of staying in England. Of course, spent last season out on loan at Sheffield United in the Championship, helped them get promoted to the Premier League, and had an all-round very good season, winning their Young Player of the Year award. Now moving on, we've got the very latest on another City youngster, comes in the form of Kian Brecken. Now the Mail say that Kian Brecken at Manchester City is a target for Leeds United this summer. Newcastle United are also keen on potentially signing the 19-year-old central midfielder from Manchester City. It hasn't been reported as to whether it would be a permanent transfer or a loan. Considering it is Premier League interest in him, I would presume this would be a permanent transfer rather than a loan. And if that is the case, you would think that City had put some kind of buyback clause or sell-on fee, maybe both, included in the deal. But when I do get the latest, of course, I will report that to you guys. Now moving on, we've got the very latest on Taylor Harwood-Bellis, and Newcastle, West Ham United, Fulham, they're all keen, and Burnley have confirmed their interest in signing Taylor Harwood-Bellis as well. He's got 12 months left on his contract at Manchester City, and Manchester City's stance, rather than put him on a new deal, are open to selling. That's according to Pete O'Rourke over on Twitter. Of course, Taylor Harwood-Bellis spent the season out on loan with Burnley last season and helped them get promoted to the Premier League, and worked, of course, with City legend Vincent Kompany. And speaking of Vincent Kompany, takes us on to James Trafford. He's currently out on loan at Bolton, but James Trafford, the very latest on him. Now, Vincent Kompany was at Bolton's playoff game, their first leg game against Barnsley in League One, and Peter O'Rourke says that Vincent Kompany was at that game because he was watching for himself James Trafford, and he wants James Trafford next season on loan, I presume. Now, Peter O'Rourke says that an offer that's needed to sign him would be £15 million. Manchester City would be tempted to sell should they get an offer of £15 million. I would have thought City, because James Trafford, again, just like James McAtee, held in high regard at City, that I'd have thought City would have been looking here potentially at loaning and keeping them, because Ian Evatt was speaking, who's Bolton's manager, at the early parts of January, saying that James Trafford won't be a Bolton player next season because he firmly believes that he's going to be the new number 2 at Manchester City. And there will come a time where one of Ederson or Ortega-Moreno, probably in the next 2 years or so, will leave Manchester City, and we'd want a number 2 to come in that would be able to do very well. And Manchester City, we've been producing some fantastic high-quality young goalkeepers. Gavin Bazunu, James Trafford. We're getting linked with Spike Brits as well. So the future's very stacked when it comes to goalkeepers, so it might make sense for City to sell here and put a cheap buyback clause in there. It might also make sense for City to loan Trafford and potentially assess the situation again next summer, which is what I would do if I was in charge, but I'm not in charge, so we'll see what happens. Now, moving on to some more senior first team players for Manchester City. The first, Joao Cancelo. Florian Plettenberg over in Germany, works for Sky Sport, has said that €70 million is too expensive for Bayern Munich this summer, and they will not be taking up the option to sign him. He will return back to Manchester City. Sadio Mane also available for transfer with Bayern Munich. Now, the Daily Telegraph say that Arsenal are interested in signing Joao Cancelo, and my first instinct on this, learn our lesson from Alexander Zinchenko and Gabriel Jesus. Do not sell our players to Arsenal. Simple solution. However, what will be very interesting here is if City are looking for €70 million and we're not getting anywhere close to that, Bayern Munich were willing to negotiate. I presume City haven't negotiated that fee down. I presume that Man City may have interest for maybe around that price, and that might be coming from Arsenal. So if clubs from around Europe are only willing to spend 30, 40, maybe €50 million, but Arsenal are prepared to pay €70 million, that might just tempt Manchester City to sell, because Joao Cancelo isn't needed by Manchester City and would like to use that money to bring in some potential other players, and €70 million is a heck of a lot of money. So I'm wondering what City are going to do here. If it was up to me again, I just wouldn't sell to a Premier League rival, because the last thing you need is strengthening your opponents with players that they haven't already got and bringing in players from our club in doing so. It nearly came back to bite us with Alexander Zinchenko and Gabriel Jesus, so surely we don't want to continue down that line, do we? We'll see. Now, moving on, we've also got the very latest on Bernardo Silva. Now, Rob Dawson at ESPN confirms that Manchester City, should they get a suitable offer for Bernardo Silva, the player is open to leaving. And this is going to be our third consecutive summer of covering Bernardo Silva potentially wanting to leave Manchester City. Now, Get French Football News, who are referred to as GFFN, say that PSG and Manchester City are willing to negotiate, sit down and talk about a price for Bernardo Silva. PSG want Bernardo Silva potentially to replace Lionel Messi, who leaves for free for them. Now, that was a couple of days ago. Not really heard any developments since then. And I'm wondering if Man City surely might be looking for a little bit more money, because apparently €70 million is the price we're looking at for Bernardo Silva, who just put in a man-of-the-match performance against Real Madrid and showed, to me, he's one of the best players in the world right now. He's in scintillating form. And to me, City have to be doing everything they can to convince Bernardo Silva to stay, because he's irreplaceable. There's no one out there who I could say to you strengthens Manchester City's team should we let Bernardo Silva leave. So we'll see what happens with that. Now, we've also got the very latest on Ilkay Gundogan, and Rob Dawson also says that Gundogan is going to make a decision on his future at the end of the season. No decision has been made yet, and nothing has been communicated to Manchester City about him leaving, so the club do still hold hope that he could sign a new deal. Gundogan is assessing his options, apparently got some offers from Italy, got an offer from Barcelona as well, So we'll see what Ilkay Gundogan does decide to do. If he's going to leave it that late, because Champions League final on June 10th to make his decision, he's only going to have a split of less than 3 weeks to make his decision before his contract does come to an end. So we'll see, but because I imagine City will want to say a farewell to Ilkay Gundogan as well. Not sure what's going to happen. Anyway, moving on to the ins. Got the very latest on Spike Brits, who we were speaking about before in the segment with James Trafford. Now, Spike Brits, the 16-year-old goalkeeper at AFC Wimbledon, holding high regard with England's national setup as well, has had a picture of him leaked at the CFA. He's been pictured with Ederson. He's set to sign for Manchester City. The Secret Scout is the Twitter page that's put out that picture. So yeah, Spike Brits is going to become a Manchester City player for the CFA, the City Football Academy. So looking forward to that. I'm just waiting for that deal to be signed, sealed, delivered, and of course announced. Now moving on, we've got a new name for the summer, but not a new name to the JSGC channel, because I spoke about this player a season or two back. Xavi Simons. Now, scouts attending is a page on Twitter says that Manchester City have had scouts out watching the 20-year-old attacking midfielder who plays for PSV over in the Netherlands. Now, he's played 32 times in the Eredivisie and scored 16 goals and has 9 assists, which is incredible. He's having a brilliant season. 20 years old attacking midfielder. Could well be an option there for Manchester City. And the OGs, I'm sure, will remember that JSGC was covering this all of last year about Xavi Simons potentially signing for Manchester City from who he played for then was PSG, but he opted instead to try and get some regular first-team football and went to PSV instead. We had a similar situation with Enzo Fernandez. He ended up going to Benfica. That was more out there because of the World Cup, whereas with Xavi Simons it hasn't really been put out there. So definitely a player to watch, and maybe even might be able to be picked up for an affordable price. He's an exciting prospect, and I'm certainly not against that transfer, in my complete honest opinion, if that is the position that City potentially are looking for. Now, moving on, we've got the very latest on Mateo Kovacic. Manchester City, they're still keen according to the Mail, and Kovacic apparently is keen on a move to Manchester City as well. I've been hearing rumours that United and Spurs also potentially interested in Kovacic, and there may be a bit of interest there. Chelsea are willing to sell to another Premier League club as long as their value is met, which is between 30 to 40 million pounds, which to me is a lot of money, but we'll see. Now, speaking of the Mail, they've also been reported on another central midfielder, Declan Rice, and they say that Manchester City have discussed potentially making a move for Declan Rice this summer, but they feel like his playing style is too similar to that of Rodri. It could disrupt the momentum of Rodri and his playing style, so Manchester City, more than likely, the stance right now, will not make a move for Declan Rice this summer. It's described as Manchester City having potential concerns over the transfer. Don't know whether that's in relation to the fee, the playing style, or maybe a mixture of both. Now, moving on to the final transfer, Josko Gvardiol plays for RB Leipzig. We saw him play against City over the 2 legs in the last 16 of the Champions League back in February and March. Now, we've got a big update on him, and Jack Gorhan says that Pep Guardiola, Manchester City, they remain keen on signing Josko Gvardiol this summer. His asking price has apparently been set at £85 million by RB Leipzig, which would be a very expensive transfer, in particular for a defender. But Pep Guardiola, if he wants to continue with this back three system that he's been playing with, he sees Josko Gvardiol as being important for that, because he can cover through centre-back, he can cover through the middle, can cover on the left-hand side, he can also play at left-back. It would be a massive advantage if he could also invert and come in as an inverted full-back as well. However, City do currently have the positions already stacked out in their squad. We've got Nathan Ake, we've got Aymeric Laporte as well. We don't necessarily need Josko Gvardiol in particular for £85 million. However, Aymeric Laporte could leave Manchester City this summer. That is very, very realistic, in my opinion. If he wants regular first-team football, being kept out the team by the likes of Akanji and Nathan Ake, if that is the case, then he may want to leave Manchester City. And if we get a suitable offer, I can see Aymeric Laporte leaving City. And if he does, City will need to replace him. And the only player that's getting lit, the only player Manchester City want to replace Aymeric Laporte with is Josko Gvardiol. £85 million, we get a good sum for the likes of Cancelo leaving, and we get a good sum for Aymeric Laporte leaving. All of a sudden, net spend, absolutely fine. City make a profit. and we get to add Josko Gvardiol to our squad. It's expensive, but in my opinion, a very doable transfer if we get the players leaving that we need to leave to make this transfer happen. Would love to know your thoughts on that. Cancelo, Laporte, if they leave and we bring Gvardiol in, are you happy with that? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Also, don't forget as well to leave a thumbs up. 300 likes is the aim. Subscribe as well if you're new around here. Press that red button, press the bell and put your push notifications on. Remember, daily Manchester City transfer updates coming throughout all of the summer transfer window for you guys to look forward to every single day from June. Subscribe. It's free. The go-to channel for transfer news for Manchester City this summer. Also, don't forget social media links. They're in the description below and sliding across at the bottom of the screen if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. TikTok link also in the description if you want to go and follow me on there. And finally, I want to say a big thank you to Kitbag for sponsoring today's video. Go and check them out. As I said, the new Manchester City shirt is available, the 2023-2024 shirt. You can go and check it out, £70. Link is in the description. Got lots of custom prints that you can put on the back of your shirts as well, including that of the very popular number 9 Erling Haaland. Links, details, they are in the description. They've got stock, so while stock lasts, go and check it out because I don't think it's going to be there for very long. And yeah, I'll see you all again very soon for the next Manchester City video. So I've been JSGC. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope everyone is safe and well. Peace. Ciao for now. And there is a little teaser about what is to come this summer when it comes to Manchester City daily transfer updates. So, players are in the tunnel. Chelsea players are making their way out first. And you might be wondering, why are Chelsea doing that? Well, the referee, the officials have made their way out. Chelsea have made their way out as well. And Manchester City are going to be given a guard of honour from Chelsea. So good to see from them that they're giving us a guard of honour. It's good to see the players here, not just with the mascots, but with their own children as well, making their way out here as Premier League champions for the 2022-2023 season, which is fantastic to see. And Manchester City, they're fully enjoying their guard of honour as the players make their way out onto the pitch, which is great to see. And a good guard of honour that as well for Chelsea. Respect to them for that. So we're on to 50 likes already. We're halfway to 100 likes. It's trophy listing day. Manchester City are Premier League champions. What's not to like? Leave a thumbs up. Any help towards that would be much appreciated. Subscribe as well if you're new around here. Press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. Also, don't forget as well to go and check out my social media links. They're in the description and also in the live chat. They're not there in live chat, all I lied. They're in the description and also on the yellow banner. If you want to go and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram. Email also in the description on the yellow banner too, if you want to go and hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. Thank you very much to BetMate for sponsoring today's video. Links and details there in the description as well, and also in the live chat. Just having a look at the chat. Rujay, thanks for tuning in. Julia, thanks for tuning in. Falana, thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated. Nikosim Phelan Dule, I hope I've said your name correctly there. Thanks very much for tuning in as well. So Sika, thanks for tuning in, going for a 3-1 victory today for Manchester City, tuning in from Jamaica. Thank you, sir. Thanks for tuning in, much appreciated. I'll take a 3-1 victory for Manchester City today. We'll see. I reckon I'm sitting well on the fence here with a 1-1 with how much Man City have rotated. Sub2, thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated as well. So your Manchester City starting 11 for today. We're starting with Stefan Ortega-Moreno in goal. It's a back four made up of Kyle Walker on the right-hand side, Sergio Gomez on the left-hand side, Akanji and Laporte going through the middle. Rico Lewis sitting alongside Kalvin Phillips as our two midfielders. Sitting in front of them is going to be on the right-hand side, Riyad Mahrez. On the left-hand side is going to be Cole Palmer. Leading the line for Manchester City today is Julian Alvarez, and it's a strong lineup. It's a strong lineup, I think, for Manchester City there. We've got the quality there to get the game done. It's a very strong bench from Manchester City, yes, but there's first teamers in there as well. And the likes of Foden, the likes of Mahrez, the likes of Walker, Laporte, Alvarez, they need to show their quality and show one or two of the players the ropes and show what they're capable of doing. So the likes of Kalvin Phillips, big game for Kalvin Phillips today. Big game coming up for Cole Palmer as well. Very interesting lineup for Manchester City. Very interesting. Mixed going very ambitious. 3-0 today for Manchester City. And thanks very much, Mixed, for tuning in. Much appreciated. Out in the Manchester sunshine, Ederson got his hair dyed blue. Aymeric Laporte got his hair dyed blue as well. This is Manchester City's final game of the season at the Etihad Stadium. We've got 2 more Premier League away games to come. Wednesday night against Brighton. Next Sunday away against Brentford. Following Saturday is against Manchester United at Wembley in the FA Cup final. And the weekend after on the Saturday is confirmed Manchester City in the Champions League final from Istanbul taking on Inter. So there we go. All sorted. Players then near enough ready for kickoff here. In a very unique situation where we could just sit back, relax, and we're not that bothered about what happens. It'd be good to continue our momentum. It'd be good to continue our winning streak. But the most important thing, because the amount of first-team players on the bench, Manchester City, there's a few sore heads in there, isn't there? So, yeah, Manchester City will want to win this game. They want to keep up the momentum, and they want to put in a good performance, I am sure. But at the end of the day, the most important thing here for Manchester City is lifting that trophy in 2 hours' time, as we do have kickoff. Rico Lewis getting us underway. Manchester City playing in their sky blue shirts, white shorts, and sky blue socks. Chelsea playing in their navy blue kit, navy blue shirt, shorts, and white socks for today. I'm just trying to see if City are playing in their new kit or whether we're playing in this season's home kit, or whether we're playing in next season's home kit. We'll have to wait and see. Here's Alvarez, gives the ball to Rico Lewis then. Kalvin Phillips, Man City coming forward here. One drink down, we'll get the next one going. There's Mahrez, not the greatest of passes, and it'll be cleared by Thiago Silva for Chelsea. And we can build out from the back. Conor Gallagher picks the ball up, gets it through the legs of Kalvin Phillips, and Chelsea can come forward here, but the offside flag is up. Yeah, Mixed for the live watch along. We can have some entertainment. We want to see what's the national drink of Turkey. Get some cocktail with the national drink of Turkey involved. That's if the final is to be in Turkey, of course. Let's not forget they've still got a presidential election coming up. There has been some doubts about that, and UEFA have got contingencies in place if that is the case, and Turkey goes into a state of civil unrest. I mean, the elections for that are next week, I think. But as it is right now, the final will be in Turkey as confirmed by UEFA, and all plans are going ahead with that. Here's Cole Palmer up against Cesar Azpilcueta. Good work that from Cole Palmer. Beats Azpilcueta for pace to the byline, squares it across. It's a good ball into the box, not fully cleared. Here's Riyad Mahrez, takes a turn, he goes down. Shot comes in from Manchester City. It's Kalvin Phillips looking for his first Man City goal, and it's blocked by Chelsea and out for a corner. So good work that from Manchester City from the off. It is a rotated team out for City today. So a corner here for Manchester City to take. Out on the City left-hand side, Mahrez whips a ball in, headed clear by Havertz. So it comes to the edge of the penalty area and a glance shot goes wide by Sergio Gomez. And it remains 0-0 here. A good shot. Good clean connection. Just off target from Sergio Gomez. Unfortunately. DJ, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for your kind comment. Colbjorn, thanks for tuning in as well. Much appreciated. Here's Loftus-Cheek then, driving Chelsea forward. Gives the ball to Lewis Hall on this left-hand side. Looking for some support out in the middle. Chalobah works it backward, pinged forward to the right-hand side. Cesar Azpilcueta will pick that ball up. Here is Kai Havertz now. Back to Azpilcueta. Havertz then works it to the right-hand side. Here's Fofana. And Chelsea just having a little bit of possession here. That's a good ball forward. And squared in well by Chelsea. And a really good bit of defending there from Aymeric Laporte. And Chelsea want a penalty. Referee says no, up you get. And Manchester City can clear their lines. And could have the potential of a counter-attack here. Here is Riyad Mahrez. He's got the run of 3. Goes back to Kalvin Phillips. He works up over. Very nice ball over to Cole Palmer on the left-hand side. And into the penalty area here. Ball comes across from Sergio Gomez. Not the best of balls. And Chelsea can clear. Man City are wearing this season's home kit. Not next season's home kit. So there we go. I presume they'll have a deal in place for that shirt to be worn. I see no reason why Man City after this game though can't really wear their new strip if they're playing in their home kit. I'm sure for the Premier League, realistically, the Premier League does come to an end for Manchester City after today. We've got 2 meaningless games. The job is done. The trophy is lifted. There's nothing to be achieved for Manchester City other than maybe some individual records. I'm sure Erling Haaland will have one eye on the 40 goal mark for Manchester City. He's 4 away. 3 games to do so. Not starting today. And so if he doesn't come off the pitch, then he's going to have 2 games to have a crack at that. And I imagine one of the away games, Erling Haaland will sit that out as City will rotate their team once more. I have a feeling that any of the first team starters starting today are going to get a bit of a rest coming up. That's a great ball forward. And the offside flag goes up against Riyad Mahrez. Kepa manages to see that one out. Colbjorn reckons an Alvarez brace assisted by Foden did so well against Real Madrid when they came off the bench. That combination. A lovely pass into the channel and a lovely first-time finish from Julian Alvarez as well, which has sent Manchester City to Istanbul. Sub2 says, new kit for the new season. It is for the new season, for the 2023-2024 season, but it isn't uncommon for teams that once they release their new kit for the final games, go out there and play in that instead, which is why I asked the question, which one are we playing in today? As it can help boost sales if Man City are playing in next season's kit, but I presume they'll have a deal that they have to wear this season's kit. But once the trophy's lifted, maybe that deal is different. I don't know. We'll wait and see. I can see Man City probably for our final 2 away games wanting to use our away kit one final time, the one that I'm wearing, and then our Bumblebee kit one final time. As we've not yet released information on the away kit, although there has been several leaks online, so we already know what it's going to look like. The home kit, the leaks have been spot on with that, and I see no reason why the leaks for the away kit and third kit aren't going to be any different, as corner going to come in from Manchester City. We've got the bananas out. As ball comes in, headed clear by Chelsea. And shot comes in from City from around 35 yards out. Foden strikes it, doesn't make a full clean contact with it, and drags the ball wide of the post. And 8 minutes in at the Etihad remains Manchester City 0, Chelsea 0 here. Very ambitious that from Foden going for the shot. As we're now halfway, more than halfway actually, to our like goal of 100 likes. We're now 49 likes away, so any help towards that would be great. Subscribe as well if you're new around here. Press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. And do go and check out today's video sponsor, BetMate. Links and details, they are in the description. Here is Fofana for Chelsea. Working it back. Kepa. Works it to the left-hand side here. As Manchester City have gathered the ball back here. Akanji now with the ball. Gives it to Kyle Walker. Mahrez back to Walker. Here's Sergio Gomez. Gives it to Cole Palmer. Foden back to Cole Palmer. Gomez wants to put the ball out. Does put the ball out. As Enzo Fernandez is down. Wants to receive a bit of treatment. Bit of a follow through from Walker on his sliding pass. And Enzo Fernandez studs up. Goes into the upper shin of Enzo Fernandez, who is now up and ready to resume. Ten minutes in at the Etihad then, 0-0. And what is celebration day for Manchester City as Kalvin Phillips has the ball, works it back to Manuel Akanji. So I imagine against Brighton and against Brentford, Walker is going to want a rest. Akanji's going to want a rest. That's a great ball from Ortega-Moreno. Finds Cole Palmer into the penalty area. Tries to square a ball across. Good defending from Azpilcueta. He'll go back with his pass. Cleared by Chelsea. I'm trying to think who else might want to rest for City. You would think... I mean, Phillips isn't going to need a rest, is he? Ortega-Moreno, Laporte, not going to need a rest. Foden even. Alvarez, not really going to need a rest either. Mahrez, probably not going to need a rest. Rico Lewis, not going to need a rest. So it is literally just Kyle Walker and Manuel Akanji, who City can rotate with over the next couple of games. Here's Cole Palmer. Good threaded through pass. Alvarez! One result. 1-0 Manchester City. And Julian Alvarez is the man that gives Manchester City the lead here inside 11.5 minutes. A cool as you like finish from the Spider. And on celebration day here for Manchester City, it's Manchester City into the lead, tucked away by Alvarez. And it's things you love to see. Way too easy that for Manchester City. Sloppy from Chelsea. Given away from Fofana. Phillips just gives the ball to Palmer. One pass into the path for Alvarez. Has half a yard on the defender. Strokes the finish. It's a good finish. A nice finish, as Mick Sid says there. Into the bottom corner. 1-0. Simple as that. Simple goal. Tidy finish from Julian Alvarez. Really tidy finish. Sergio Aguero-esque. And Pep Guardiola celebrates. Manchester City celebrates. And what we want to be doing now is pushing for that killer second goal. Dad, thanks very much for tuning in. It was a good finish from Julian Alvarez. And Chelsea giving the ball away. Finish this off. Chelsea been in terrible form. Unbeaten in the last two, but lost the previous 6 to that. As we're now just 41 likes away from 100 likes. Deshaun, thanks for tuning in. That's an interesting one with Carlos Borges. It'd be good to see him get some action. There's rumours that City want to use him around the first team squad next season. I see no reason why they can't. And over the next couple of games, it's a good time to go and do it, because you can almost treat these next couple of games, I know it's not pre-season, but you can almost use it as a bit of homework time to study who do you want around the first team squad. As I was saying in the build-up to this game, it's important for the players to put in a good performance, but more than anybody else, City don't know what they want to do with Kalvin Phillips, with Cole Palmer, with Aymeric Laporte, with Sergio Gomez. So these are the players that I'm looking for today to go out there and make the difference. Show that they should be around the City first team squad next season. If City want to use Borges around the first team squad, get him into the squad. See what he can do. Give him a chance. Cole Palmer got himself an assist. Rico Lewis, great work. Brilliant work from Foden. Here's Cole Palmer. He's having a brilliant time on this left wing. Into the penalty area. Cuts in. Rico Lewis flicked on, and Foden and Alvarez have got each other's way. Foden blocked. Mahrez, go with your right foot. Oh, good block. Conor Gallagher. City were lining up there. That should have been 2-0. Oh, that should have been 2-0. Andy, good afternoon. Thanks for tuning in. And Alison as well. Much appreciated, as we are now only 38 likes away from 100 likes. City are tearing the Cockneys apart. They need to just get this one rounded off. Foden and Alvarez got in each other's way there. The opportunity almost went away. It's a good block from Conor Gallagher. Cole Palmer, very impressed on this left wing. Very impressed. Cross comes in from City. It's deep. And Julian Alvarez couldn't get his foot onto it to square it back across the box. It goes out for a goal kick to Chelsea. 15 minutes in here at the Etihad. Manchester City leading by 1-0 on what is trophy lifting celebration day for Manchester City. We needed Alvarez to leave that for Foden to put his left foot through. Foden went onto his knees, couldn't believe it. Cole Palmer working hard. Fofana gets his foot onto it. Cleared. Laporte, good header towards Azpilcueta. Laporte needs to take his arms away from the attacker, and rightly free kick given, in my opinion. Laporte not happy about it, but because he was gripping and grabbing, he makes the challenge, he wins the ball. It's a good win of the ball, but because he's got his arms around him when he's done the challenge, the free kick's given. And I think that's the correct decision for me. I think, so going back to the next two games, I think it's important. So Akanji, Walker are the two big players I'll be looking at to get them rotated and rested. And as I said, let's have a look at the City bench, because I think it's important. So who's missing today? So we want Ederson to be spick and span. I see no reason why Ederson can't start the next game, and final game Scott Carson can't have his start for Manchester City, his annual start. I see no reason why that can't happen. So looking at City's bench then today. So realistically, Akanji, Walker are the ones that need to be rotated against Brighton and against Brentford. So if it was me, John Stones, Ruben Dias, they both come in for the next game, and Walker and Akanji have that break. And so that's two players coming back in to try and keep the players nice and sharp. Ederson, I'd be starting as well, would be my other change. And I think I'd probably... I mean, realistically, I want Gundogan, De Bruyne, Haaland, Grealish, Rodri, Ruben Dias. They've played so many games over the last 2 months or so. To me, they should be given a 2-game break for me. And some of the other more rotated players get given the go. So I think it's important that we distribute the minutes regularly amongst the first teamers over the next 3 games. Players that are having a break today, 3 or 4 of them are having a break again midweek, and the 3 or 4 players that do have that break midweek start then the final game, and the 3 or 4 players that come in against Brighton then have another rest. So you're just rotating and maintaining the squad whilst just trying to keep them as sharp as possible. I mean, you're not going to lose that much sharpness playing once a week. From playing 2 times a week to once a week, you're not going to lose too much sharpness, but you don't want to lose all momentum. And I think this is why today's game, I think, is very important for Manchester City. I think it's important that we pick up a win today. I think it's important to take that momentum forward into a match against Brighton. Brighton away, you look at it on paper, If it was a normal game, it would be a game where I'd be saying it's a very difficult game. They're having a very good season. It's a difficult place to visit, with Brighton still having maybe Europa League football to challenge for. So it won't be an easy game. But to me, 5 or 6 of these players that are starting today should be starting against Brighton, should be starting against Brentford. That includes Julian Alvarez. I'd go as far to say Kalvin Phillips, Sergio Gomez, probably Rico Lewis, possibly Cole Palmer. I was going to say Foden and Mahrez, but I think them 2 players could be very important for City in the FA Cup final and the Champions League final. These are players that we might be looking towards. They might not start that game, but certainly will be in and around the squad. And if things aren't going too well for City, these are the kind of players that you want to bring in. So you don't want these players to be injured. You want them to be spick and span. You want them to be in a good physique, ready for that game. I mean, this is no disrespect to the likes of Kalvin Phillips or Sergio Gomez, but we could afford an injury to them because it's not going to make much of an impact on City's squad. But sounds brutal from me, but an injury to Phil Foden or a Riyad Mahrez all of a sudden means Man City can only go one way when it comes to starting our team against United and against Inter. And you don't want to just rely on plan A, you want plan B, plan C, and that's where you need your squad, and that's what City need to do today. Get a good result, and then we can do the same against Brighton and against Brentford. For the baking sunshine out in Manchester at the end of May. We're looking at around 21, I think, 21, 22 degrees today in Celsius, looking at just over 70 degrees Fahrenheit, which for Manchester is that's a brilliant interception from Rico Lewis. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. But yeah, just over 70 degrees in Fahrenheit. It's a warm day for Manchester. We're just starting to see spring go towards summer. I imagine as the weeks go on, it's going to get a little bit hotter as well. Long ball comes forward from Chelsea then. Intercepted by Manuel Akanji. It looked like the arm had been used by Lewis Hall, and the referee says it has, and that'll be a free kick to Manchester City then, just inside the Chelsea half. City look keen to just go sideways with this pass. Is he given a throw-in? But he'd given a free kick for handball. Anyway, it doesn't matter. City got the ball and it will be a throw-in now. Mahrez tackled by Lewis Hall, and that's out for a throw-in to Manchester City, midway inside Chelsea half. Frank Lampard gives his instructions. As we're now just 34 likes away from 100 likes, so any help towards that would be much appreciated. Subscribe as well if you're new around here. Press that red button, press the bell and put your push notifications on. And do go and check out today's video sponsor, BetMate. Links and details there in the description and also in the live chat. So Chelsea work the ball back to goalkeeper Kepa. So here is Kyle Walker, who just works the ball back to Akanji. City just knocking this around. Here is Stefan Ortega-Moreno then to Aymeric Laporte. And it's very sad that some of the players on the pitch today, it could be their last ever appearance for Manchester City at the Etihad Stadium. Laporte could be leaving in the summer. There's a lot of interest in him. There's rumours. As Rico Lewis gets into a good position, here is Foden into Cole Palmer. Go on your own. Cole squares it across and cleared off the line. Oh, need a little bit more conviction there from Cole Palmer. And a free kick against Phil Foden on Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Means Chelsea can have a free kick and some respite there. I could do with killing this game off, really. It was a cracking ball from Foden into the channel. He takes the touch there, Palmer, and it just allows Loftus-Cheek, I think, Fofana, that just gets back to make the interception. He tries to square it across, and Chalobah there just clears at the back post. I think Cole Palmer needed to go first time for Manchester City. But going back to the point I was just making, Deschamps, I completely agree. He needs to just put his foot across and go across goal there first time. On his left foot, stroke it across goal. Rather than taking that extra touch. That extra touch allows Fofana to come in and make half an interception and allows Chelsea to clear. So Laporte's getting linked with the exit door at Manchester City. Today could be the last time we see him at the Etihad Stadium in a Manchester City shirt. There's rumours about Kalvin Phillips having interest from the likes of West Ham. It could be the last time that we see Kalvin Phillips. I don't think it will be, but it might be at the Etihad Stadium. Cole Palmer could be another player, but maybe leaving Manchester City at the end of the season. Another player that has been linked with the exit door. Been linked doesn't mean they're necessarily going to leave Manchester City. Sergio Gomez is another player that's been linked with a potential loan move away from Manchester City as well. So a few players out on the pitch that it might be the last time that we do see them. And I reckon maybe one or two of them, it may well be. But if they do anyone that ends up leaving Manchester City, they can leave, of course, with their head held high, very high. Man City could go on to lose Manchester United and it'll hurt. It'll hurt a lot. We could go on to lose to Inter Milan in the Champions League final and that will hurt. It will hurt a lot. But no matter what's happened, to me, Manchester City have had an outstanding season because we've retained the Premier League, and retaining the Premier League is, in my opinion, objective number one. And any season that involves Man City winning the Premier League, to me, is a successful season. Progress has been made in the Champions League. We've got the semi-final last season. We've made it to the final. That's progress. I want to beat Inter Milan. I want to win that trophy to put the cherry on the cake. As the Poznan breaks out at the Etihad Stadium, South Stand breaking out in a Poznan. City, as I said, they're in a party mood. The fans clearly have been out partying, celebrating as more of the Poznan breaks around the stadium. Julia, Gareth Southgate is there watching. England have got some international games coming up. I love the cameras bouncing as we're watching it. The camera's literally just shaking as the Poznan breaks out at the Etihad and Chelsea come forward. And I think that's one thing I can give Manchester City credit for. There's been all kinds of fiascos when it's come to fans attending games and tickets for this season. And over the last 4 weeks, it's been really poor for Manchester City. But the one thing that has improved a lot this season is these empty seat things have always been a little bit of a myth. Man City have worked hard to make sure that the empty seats are filled. The large majority of games this season, and I would say 95% of games have sold out. We've had a real good, the Erling Haaland factor that I call, we've had a really good feel-good factor around the team and around the stadium as well. And I think the atmosphere at the Etihad this season, more than any other season that we've had at the Etihad, I think has been very good. There's been one or two moments in other previous seasons where the atmosphere has been very good. But I think that genuinely the atmosphere as a whole at the Etihad has been pretty good for Manchester City this season. And I'm excited that they're going to be building the new plans that have gone in place for the North Stand expansion, the larger upper tier in the North Stand. I think if they move the family stand away from the North Stand, will help generate even more of a good atmosphere at the Etihad. It'll hopefully have some good acoustics in there. I think if they put some more affordable pricing when it comes to the tickets in there, trying to encourage more of the local fans into the stadium as well, it'll help generate a really good atmosphere. I know the match midweek against Real Madrid was full of neutrals, full of tourists in there. People have not really watched Manchester City play before. However, as Phil Foden goes very close for Manchester City trying to chip the keeper. And I know it was full of people that get referred to as day trippers, those that don't necessarily support Manchester City, are just there to watch a good game of football. Helped generate a real good atmosphere for Manchester City, which was good to see. It was good to see that people weren't leaving towards the end of the game. The players did get applauded off the pitch and got the appreciation shown for what was a really good game of football and how hard Manchester City have worked. And as I said, the club have had their faults this season. I think they're faults that need to be addressed in the summer. But as a whole, pretty good. That's where we're at off the field with Manchester City. We have had Champions League ticket information come out. Very expensive. If you are heading to Istanbul, yeah, you're gonna need wallet surgery. That is for sure. Very expensive, the tickets. I imagine the cheaper seats will get nabbed up very quickly by the City faithful. They're not expecting it to come off season ticket sale. So if you are a non-season ticket holder at Manchester City and you're wanting to go to the Champions League final, then you are more than likely going to have to either hope for some spares, people selling, other means. I know the UEFA applications have already been done. It's just going to be the hottest ticket in town. It's going to be very difficult to get hold of tickets. But some of the seats are very expensive, over £500 for some of the seats in that match for the Champions League final. Manchester City have released information saying they've subsidised some costs for the travel, and people wanting to do a day trip while seeing none of Istanbul. It's going to cost them £1,000 just for a flight from Manchester to Istanbul on the day of the game and fly you back after the game. You don't see anything of Istanbul. So I would suggest, if you are a City fan wanting to go to the Champions League final and you're lucky enough to be in a position to make that happen, and you've got some spare time, then I would recommend trying to get to Istanbul a few days maybe before the game and go and absorb what is, I am sure, an absolutely fantastic cultural city in Turkey. I think it's a great shame flying fans in. They're literally flying the fans in for £1,000. You get there in the morning, they take you to the stadium where there's a fan zone, and you stay in the fan zone, you go to the game, and then you leave again. You don't actually see anything of what is a wonderful city of Istanbul. That's not how I like to travel. It's not what I would be doing if I was in a position to go to Istanbul and I had some spare time. I think I'd be going out there exploring and enjoying. I know some City fans lucky heading to Dalaman, Antalya. It's by the coast in Turkey, some warm weather. I know some fans travelling via Sofia in Bulgaria as well to try and get to Istanbul. JSGC is going to be on his honeymoon in Iceland, so he's going to be missing the Champions League final, unfortunately, but I do have you covered on the channel, as my partner Channel Mixed is going to be covering the game instead for you. I'm going to get him trained up over the next week or so and get everything sorted, so we can have a really good live watch-along on Champions League final day, and what I'm sure is going to be a very extravagant extravaganza when it comes to a Champions League final. We'll come to expect no less on the JSGC channel, and I will of course be doing my own live watch along when I get back, because I'm going to be oblivious to what happens. I'm going to be in the middle of nowhere. I'll turn my phone off. I don't know what happens, and I will come back and have that element of surprise to see what happens in the Champions League final. I want the raw reaction of me. I don't want somebody to tell me what has happened. I want the raw reaction. I want, if Manchester City lose that game, I want my raw reaction to it. I want anger. I want to be upset. I want to witness the history in the hope that we make the history. I want the happy tears of Man City achieving that, what is, you feel like, their ultimate goal of the Champions League. So that is the plan. That is the plan. Very exciting, very costly. Someone says they're going to all the games throughout May. Tallying up the cost of ticket and travel is going to cost them £5,000. As Chelsea are in here, Raheem Sterling Brilliant save. What a save. Stefan Ortega-Moreno gets down low and Raheem Sterling can't score against his former team. The City fans like that. Very high line played by City. Kyle Walker couldn't get back. Akanji couldn't get back. Put Sterling under pressure to take the shot. It's brilliant positioning from Stefan Ortega-Moreno. He commits very low. He's almost doing the splits to make the save. It's a cracking save. And Chelsea just growing back into this game. We're going for an important phase here. City haven't doubled their lead. And Chelsea feel like they're still in this game. Todd, thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated. And thank you for your kind words there. West Ham have got their own luxurious European final to look forward to, the Europa Conference League final, taking on Fiorentina in Prague. 20,000 capacity stadium for a major European final. Baffles me. West Ham have been given just 5,000 tickets. A team that sells out, what, over 50,000 per game. 5,000 for a major European final. Absolutely baffles me. It would be good. It'd be good to see an English side, West Ham, winning the Europa Conference League. It'd be really good to see. West Ham been involved over the last week or so in the headlines, of course. A couple of their fans have been defending the friends and family of the players from the AZ Alkmaar Ultras, fended off on the stairs. You got the lads from down the pub fending off the hooded crew. I was just thinking to myself, that's hooliganism at its finest. Don't think they know what they're going with when you're dealing with West Ham. They pride themselves on a reputation. And you just got some fat geezer, top of the stairs, doing the business as Chelsea hit the post. They're not cleared here from City. Kalvin Phillips desperately defending Chelsea. Edge of the penalty area. Sterling tries to put a ball into the box. If you sense an equaliser's coming. Did Ortega-Moreno get a hand onto that? It looked like it hit the post for me. I think Gary Neville was just saying he got a hand onto it. I need to see a replay. Game's opening up. There's space everywhere in the middle of the park as the offside flag goes up against Julian Alvarez. There's Lewis Hall with a great ball in. It hits the post. I think Ortega-Moreno just gets a hand onto it to push it clear once it had hit the post. It was a good header from Conor Gallagher. It was a good ball in from Lewis Hall. And the warning signs are there for Manchester City. As I said, we want to win this game. Keep the momentum going. Put in some good performances. Lewis Hall goes up against Kyle Walker. It looked like it come off the foot of Lewis Hall, and that'll be a goal kick to Manchester City, and the referee says yes. And Todd, in fair basis of the Cockneys and what's been referred to, commonly up north here in England, you refer to anybody from London as Cockneys. I know your stereotyped Cockney is from the East End of London with the very thick Cockney accent, but the whole of London up north gets tarnished with that brush. So if we're playing Arsenal who are from North London, or Tottenham from North London, if we're playing Brentford, Fulham, Chelsea from West London, if we're playing West Ham from East London, we could be playing Charlton from South London, Millwall, Palace. They all get tarnished with that London brush of called Cockneys, and that's why City sing it. A little bit like if you wanted to call somebody from Liverpool a Scouser, and what is the boundaries of calling somebody a Scouser? because Merseyside's a pretty big place. And it extends to the north as well. Look at Manchester. What's a proper Manc? Where do you have to be from? Is somebody from Stockport a proper Manc? Stockport's its own place. It's not Manchester. And then if you start digesting down to them little fine details, you'll soon figure out that there's not many people from these areas. JSGC had some bites off the Scousers this morning on Twitter. JSGC was enjoying himself. And it's very easy to get nibbles off them. Very easy. They weren't happy that City were comparing Arsenal's collapse towards the end of the season. They weren't happy that Liverpool had been getting tarnished again with their bottle, so to speak. And JSGC was just putting the point across to the Liverpool fans that Arsenal have bottled the league because they were in a position to win it and they didn't. And they didn't win it because their form over the last 6, 7, 8 games has been inept. Since they played at Anfield, their form has been horrendous. But nobody's giving credit to Manchester City. Over 10 games winning in a row, under pressure, Champions League games sandwiched between them, games in hand here, there and everywhere. It's been relentless for Manchester City. And to me, not enough praise has been put on what Manchester City have achieved. And I know people will start blabbering on about financial fair play and this and that, but you do have to go out there and do the business on the pitch. There's clubs out there that spend just as much as Manchester City that can't do what Manchester City do. And there's a Liverpool fan who was spot on and said it's all about mentality. Liverpool's mentality when approaching to City, they did the business, they won the games, it's just Man City had that extra point, and that's why we won the league twice, was put in that position, and we did it twice, we won the Premier League. Arsenal weren't as mentally strong as what Liverpool were. Liverpool, to me, gave us more of a title race. I certainly don't think Arsenal have had a bad season, though. I don't think the Premier League's quality has been too strong this season. Newcastle, Manchester United, I don't think have been put under enough pressure in them 3rd and 4th spots for my liking at this business end of the season. But in the general consensus of everything that's happened, to me, all talk going into this game was about what Arsenal have done, how they've bottled the league, and not enough for my liking about what Manchester City have done. And we've done it time and time again. Business end of the season, 10 plus wins in a row. It's a remarkable achievement. Remarkable achievement. And it's so difficult to do. And so, yeah, I can sit here and say Arsenal bottled the league, but I can also say that Manchester City fully deserved to win the league. Here's Sergio Gomez coming forward for City, Cole Palmer. I mean, Chelsea defensively have just got more of a grip on this game now. As we're now just 29 likes away from 100 likes, so any help towards that would be much appreciated. Subscribe if you're new around here. And also don't forget to go check out today's video sponsor, BetMate. Links and details there in the description. Richard Keys. Not heard that name in a while. There's loads of journalists, there's loads of pundits always having a dig at Manchester City. We've had dedicated City pundits having a dig at the club as well. Micah Richards isn't going to escape criticism for doing that as well. I know he's had a bit of criticism from the City fans as well for trying to appease the mass rather than being dedicated to Manchester City and putting the point of view of City out there for people who are too blinded to see and too deaf to listen to what's actually happening. And eventually people will start to listen, because you can't just ignore 5 Premier Leagues out of 6. You don't win 5 Premier Leagues out of 6 without being an outstanding team. I know everyone's going to poke at financial fair play, but you have a good look at the last 2 summers. Man City have just spent what they've earned. And it all comes about from how well run the business is. How well Manchester City have done on and off the field. Julian Alvarez looked offside there. Flag's not gone up. I think they want to put the flag up, but they're waiting to see if there's a chance. No. Carrying on playing on. Okay, fair enough. Kalvin Phillips has a whack and puts it wide. And Richard Dunn made a very interesting comment midweek, actually. I think he'd make a really good pundit, put the City point of view across really well. And this is where I think the broadcasting companies are missing a trick. There aren't out. I mean, a lot of the Manchester City modern day, over the last 10, 15 years, legends are either happy to retire, the likes of Aguero, who's out in Miami right now, happy just to do the bit part, but they don't want to be pundits. And the other players, the likes of Vincent Kompany, they're such good players and have such a good understanding of football that they're wasted in being a pundit. So they go on to do bigger and better things like being a football manager, which is why I think Kompany's going to be a very successful football manager. So you don't have too many representatives of Manchester City out there. It'd be good to have a really good voice to put the point of view of City across. Because when they start speaking about financial fair play, it's always negative criticisms against Manchester City with nobody out there other than the City fans left to defend themselves and Pep Guardiola in the press room. I've not seen one pundit say, what proof does anyone have that Manchester City are guilty of these charges? These are where they've accessed all these charges from. I've not heard one. They've all just said City are guilty and Man City need to prove their innocence, is what they've all said. Because that's exactly what the media, who are very much dominated by the likes of United and Liverpool, the Premier League cartel, gets the clicks, gets the views, and it's exactly what they want to hear. They don't want to hear that Man City are innocent, that Man City have fairly won these trophies. They don't want to hear that. I firmly believe that the City have not done anything wrong. I think the club, if they have done something wrong, should be punished for it, and rightfully so. But I don't think that they have. I think there's a reason why UEFA haven't charged us. They did charge us and CAS decided not to pursue that. There's a reason for that. And that's insufficient evidence. They don't have enough. But it damages the brand. And that's just it, Julia. Clubs can compete. They're just not as good. They're just not as good. It's nothing to do with finance. Liverpool can go out there and spend 100 million this summer if they want to and sign a couple of good players. Man United can go out there and spend 400 million. Chelsea has spent 600 million, much more than what Manchester City have spent. They've not invested it very well. It's not our fault they've not invested it very well. Perhaps they should go out there, get a better owner, an owner that's going to put a plan in place. I think that's what Man United's been their problem over the last 10 years. They've just been bringing in manager after manager who they think's a good manager. A good manager doesn't get you a trophy. A good manager doesn't make you a successful football team. Having a good manager who has a philosophy, a style of play, who knows how to implement it and sign the players and bring the players in and mould them. And as Todd was saying, get the chemistry, the strong mentality out there. It takes hard work. And to me, not enough credit's been given to Manchester City about what we've achieved. 3 Premier League trophies in a row. 5 out of the last 6. It's out bloody standing. We're the villains. We're the bad guys. So we don't need to hear appreciation off others. In fact, it's odd when I hear appreciation off others. We know what we can do. We know what we're capable of. Chelsea have a free kick blocked off the wall. Rico Lewis gets it clearing out for a corner. I mean, we're over 30 seconds into added time. We had 1 minute added on. We're now going into the 47th minute. Just about enough there from Manchester City to get that cleared. And Chelsea are going to be allowed to have this corner as well. I tell you what, Chelsea equalise off this, they're going to be very angry. Corner comes in. And City will get it clear and it'll go out for a goal kick and that will be half time. So there we go. City lead just about at half time. Chelsea have had their chances. It's not been the cleanest, not been the most entertaining of games to say the least. But it was a brilliant finish from Julian Alvarez to give Manchester City the lead here. And at the moment, Chelsea down on their luck. Missed a good opportunity through Raheem Sterling to equalise. Conor Gallagher's hit the post for Chelsea as well, but they've not taken their opportunity, and Manchester City have. We've had a couple of chances ourselves to double our lead. Foden and Alvarez getting in each other's way. Mahrez has had a block shot. Cole Palmer could have gone first time, instead trying to square it across, taking that extra touch. And in the end, it's very much what you see in here. a Chelsea team lacking confidence and a Manchester City team that's been heavily rotated. It never was going to be much of a classic, if you ask me, but there we go. Manchester City are leading. If we can do everything we can in this second half to try and pick up an important 3 points, then we've got something to take in to our last 2 away games, our final midweek game against Brighton, our game in hand, and of course our final game next week away in West London, taking on Brentford away from home. We're lifting a trophy as well today, which is good to see. It'll be interesting to see how City manage their team. And I'm wondering if we're going to make any subs here. I think now more than ever before, I would encourage Pep Guardiola, if we're giving a full rest to our players, our important players that are on the bench, I see no reason to bring them on, even if that means Man City not winning this game, in my complete honest opinion. Because I think today is all about the rotated players putting in, getting 90 minutes in their legs, showcasing what they can do. And hopefully we can do enough to pick up the 3 points here. And need to be clinical is what Manchester City need to be. We need to be clinical, and hopefully we can go on to do that and we can win the game. So before we go around the grounds and look at the results, we're just going to very quickly go through the statistics. Man City are having more of the possession, 64% compared with 36% possession for Chelsea. 9 shots for City, 2 on target. As I said, not really been clinical. Chelsea as well, 4 shots, 1 on target. Haven't been clinical. The opportunities have been there. City could have had a couple. Chelsea could have had a couple. As it is, City are leading right now, but that might just come down to sheer momentum right now. In terms of passes, 326 passes compared with 183 passes for Chelsea. Attacking stats, 1 clear-cut chance created for City, but 2 for Chelsea. And that's what I think City, with his high line, need to be wary. Chelsea do have the pace to get in and around. They've just not had the precision right now, but we carry on like this into the second half. I can see Chelsea maybe grabbing a goal or 2, so it's important for game management here that City continue to push and try and find that all-important killer second goal. In terms of attacking stats, 1 clear-cut chance then for City and 2 for Chelsea. 3 corners for City, 1 for Chelsea and 1 offside apiece. Defensive stats, 3 block shots for City, 2 for Chelsea. 2 tackles, 1 for City and 4 for Chelsea. Both teams have had a couple of aerial duels, 1 apiece. 1 save for Ortega-Moreno to make. Kepa hasn't made a save for Chelsea. In terms of discipline, no fouls committed by either team. 6 fouls won by City, 4 for Chelsea, with 1 yellow card brandished in this game, and that has gone to Chelsea, with Kai Havertz going into the book. So that keeps you up to date. At the moment, Manchester City, we are going to be lifting the Premier League trophy regardless of what happens today, but City currently on course for 3 points, and that'll take us on to 88 points, and it'll be really good if we could have another 90-plus point season. Is what has been an outstanding season so far for Manchester City, with 4 losses, 4 draws, played 36 if this stays the same, with 28 wins for City. So if we can win our next couple of games, have another 30 season game win. Is that right? 30 games winning in a season, then that would be brilliant. But we've still got work to do here in the second half to make that happen. Glendon, thanks for tuning in, much appreciated. For Chelsea, stays the same. They're in bother. They've got Manchester United in midweek, and if they don't win that, then they could be finishing. I mean, they could finish if things go pear-shaped for them. They could well be finishing more than likely 13th. Maybe even 14th, depending on what West Ham do and goal difference, in what has been a very poor season for Chelsea. But they are going to get a new manager in the summer in Pochettino, as Frank Lampard was only a temporary appointment for them. As we're now just 27 likes away from 100 likes. So any help towards that would be much appreciated. Subscribe as well if you're new around here. Press that red button, press the bell and put your push notifications on. And do go and check out today's video sponsor, BetMate. Links and details there in the description and also in the live chat. So we're going to go around the grounds now. Had some games taking place in the Premier League earlier. Both full-time scores. Brighton and Hove Albion beat Southampton by 3-1. Southampton already relegated. Brighton trying to scramble and make a success to try and secure Europa League football for next season. With their goal difference now, they are, in terms of points, needing just a point, but the goal difference probably will be enough for them to seal a top 6 spot and Europa League football for next season. They might want to play catch-up to Liverpool, depending on if Brighton can beat Manchester City in midweek in their game in hand. Southampton, of course, already relegated. West Ham, they've beaten Leeds United by 3-1. West Ham already safe heading into the game. They've got the Europa Conference League game. Looking for some momentum heading into that final. West Ham beating Leeds United by 3-1 after Leeds United did take the lead in that game. Leeds United now in a very difficult position. 2 points behind Everton. They're sitting in 18th place. Leicester play tomorrow away against Newcastle as well. Leeds have got a lot of work to do. It's no longer in their hands, and they're needing to win next week and some favours to go in their direction as well if they are to stay in the Premier League, but it's going to be a big ask for them from this position. In terms of the Women's Super League, some full-time scores: Chelsea 2, Arsenal 0, Everton 2, Brighton 1, and Aston Villa 3, Liverpool 3. Currently in the 89th minute, Leicester 0, West Ham 2. And you do have the Manchester Derby taking place later. It's Manchester United taking on Manchester City at Lee Sports Village. In the Scottish Premiership, Hibernian have lost against Rangers at home by 3-1. The SPL has already been sorted, with Celtic winning the SPL. In the Women's Scottish Premier League, Dundee United 1, Hamilton 1, Motherwell 3, Aberdeen 0, and Spartans 2, Glasgow 0 are all full-time scores. Celtic 0, Hearts 0, Partick Thistle 1, Hibernian 1, and Rangers 0, Glasgow City 0 are all either half-time or heading towards half-time. Heading to sunny Spain, full-time score: Real Valencia 1, Espanyol 2. 81st minute, Atletico Madrid 2, Osasuna 0. That Real Valencia against Espanyol, by the way, was a full-time score. Atletico Madrid 2-0 against Osasuna with 8 minutes to go, are on course for 3 points. You got Valencia taking on Real Madrid at 5:30 p.m. BST, and Sevilla taking on Real Betis at 8 p.m. In the Bundesliga, full-time score: Mainz 1, Stuttgart 4. Currently in the 27th minute, Augsburg 0, Borussia Dortmund 0, in what is a massive game in the Bundesliga, because Dortmund, if they win that game, go top with 1 game remaining apiece for both them and Bayern. Bayern dropped points yesterday. Dortmund need to beat Augsburg, though, to go top. A draw isn't enough due to goal difference. So, very interesting game to keep an eye on. Bayer Leverkusen are taking on Borussia Mönchengladbach at 6:30 p.m. BST. Some full-time scores in Italy: Lecce 0, Spezia 0, and Torino 1, Fiorentina 1. You got Napoli taking on Inter Milan at 5 p.m. BST, and Udinese taking on Lazio at 7:45 p.m. BST. To France, Liga earned some full-time scores: Ajaccio 0, Rennes 5, Brest 2, Clermont 1, Nice 0, Toulouse 0, Rennes 2, Angers 2, Troyes 1, Strasbourg 1 as well. I think Troyes, have they been relegated? If not, yeah, they have been relegated. Troyes are already gone down. Latest score at half-time: Lorraine 1, Lens 2. Your Auxerre taking on PSG at 7:45 p.m. BST. Heading over to Portugal, you've got Victoria Guimarães taking on Gil Vicente, 61st minute 0-0. You've got Casa Pia taking on Estoril Pereira at 6 p.m. You've got Paca de Ferreira taking on Rio Ave at 6 p.m. as well. And you've got Sporting CP taking on Benfica and a big Lisbon derby at 8:30 p.m. BST. FA Vars Trophy full-time score: Ascot United have beaten Newport Pagnell Town in the FA Vars final, so well done to Ascot United. You've also got the FA Trophy taking place at Wembley Stadium right now. Currently heading towards half-time, it's Halifax Town 0, Gateshead 0. And finally, we're going to head over to the Netherlands. We've got all full-time scores there. Ajax 3, Utrecht 1, Excelsior 3, Fortuna Sittard 0, FCM 1, Feyenoord 3, Go Ahead Eagles 3, Volendam 0, NEC 0, AZ Alkmaar 3, PSV 3, Heerenveen 3, Waalwijk 0, FC Twente 5, Sparta Rotterdam 4, Cambuur 1, and Vitesse Arnhem 6, Groningen 0. And that's keeping you up to date across all of Europe for you guys to enjoy. My one final thought as at half-time here is Julian Alvarez. Manchester City need to find a way next season of keeping him as involved as possible, because he is an outstanding player. So I do have some halftime entertainment very quickly for you guys to enjoy. It is brought to you by my partner channel, Mixed. This is the third rail #2 cocktail. Electrifying. Enjoy. Links and details for Mixed, they're in the description. Go and like and subscribe.
What's going on, guys? Mixed here, back again for another cocktail video. And happy Easter everyone, and it's time to celebrate again with the classic cocktails. We're going back to the 1920s now, so it is 1930 it is the special Savoy cocktail book. So the one I've been reading up on is the third rail number 2 cocktail, and it's supposed to be electrifying, so I want to see how electrifying this drink is, as we're still on the absinthe. So at the minute I'm still going through absinthe. I've just got the thing for absinthe in the minute, I just can't get out of my head, and I love trying different absinthe cocktails. So let's go straight into this classic cocktail going back to 1930. So to make this classic cocktail, guys, the third rail number 2 is get your tin shaker and put on some ice. So let's build this cocktail. First ingredient to the tin, guys, is a dash of absinthe. So this is where it gets complicated. If you ever read the Savoy cocktail book, it's a weird measurement. So it takes a little bit of maths to calculate. So I'll go through it right now with you. So it's got a dash of absinthe, which is 5ml or 0.2 ounce, and then it's a third of Bacardi rum, a third of Calvados, and a third of a brandy. I'm using cognac. So for the third, using the old measurements, it is 3/4 of an ounce, so 22.5ml, or so for American audience, 3/4 of an ounce. For a British audience, it is 22.5ml of each one. So a dash. So the first ingredient to the tin, guys, is a dash of absinthe, 5ml or 0.2 ounce. 1/3 of Bacardi white rum, which is 22.5ml or 3/4 of an ounce. It really does take some getting used to using the Savoy cocktail book. Next, 1/3 or 22.5ml or 3/4 of an ounce of Calvados, which is that apple brandy. Next is 1/3 or 22.5ml or 3/4 of an ounce of brandy. As I said before, I'm using a cognac. So put your lid on and give it a shake 8 to 10 seconds to get nice and chill. So what we want to do now is get a small cocktail glass and strain into it. And now strain into it. One thing you will notice from the 1920s cocktails is the proportions were much smaller then when they made their cocktails. That's one thing you will notice if you use a Savoy cocktail book. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen, one third rail number 2 cocktail. How does this electrifying cocktail taste? Will it give me an electric shock? So let's see if it lives up to the hype, Harry Craddock. It's certainly quite a powerful drink. One thing I will say is you can taste the apple brandy with the brandy mixed into it. But it's certainly a nice cocktail. One thing I will say, it's a proper cocktail like that. So it's very spirit based, because there's no fruits in it, there's no fruit juice in it or anything like that to balance it out. So this is a very strong cocktail. I can certainly see why it is an electrifying cocktail, as it's not to be underestimated. But in the words of Harry Craddock, his advice is drink any cocktail quick. But would I rate this cocktail? I certainly would, especially if you like your brandies as well. If you like your brandies, you'll like this cocktail. It's certainly an unusual request, especially with the Calvados apple brandy. You don't see that in too many cocktails, especially these days. But it's a classic, it's a very nice drink, it's powerful and it's electrifying. But that, guys, is the third rail number 2 cocktail. What do you think of it? Have you ever tried these If you ever try these cocktail recipes in the Savoy cocktail book, do let me know. The measurements do take some getting used to. So it did take me a while to get used to it, as I've been looking it up on the internet as well. As I looked at it for the first time, probably about 2 years ago, I thought, what is this? As it says like thirds, 2/3 dashes, everything's in it. Unusual measurements in it that you don't not seen. So it does take a while to convert that. You've got to use a little bit of maths as we say in England. Not math, as that's more than American, our transatlantic cousins, the terminology. But one thing I will say is Happy Easter. I was gonna say have a lovely time, have a lovely Easter, and spend some quality time with your loved ones. But this, guys, has been the third rail number 2 cocktail. Cheers. And I've been Mixed. And if you do enjoy this content, don't forget to like and subscribe to Mixed for more cocktail recipe books like this. Do you want me to keep following the Savoy cocktail book for more recipes? As I'm happy to oblige. As I will see you tomorrow for more cocktail recipes. Happy Easter. Cheers.
Oh, sorry about that. I was just getting my stuff sorted in the background. Right, we do have kick-off here for the second half. Don't think any changes have been made. There we go. Call the clock up. Anyway, thanks very much to Mixed for providing today's halftime entertainment. Much appreciated. Manchester City then need to try and tighten it up a little bit at the back. And I think be clinical in front of goal is one of the most important things that Manchester City can do here. It looked like a handball that against Raheem Sterling, not given by Michael Oliver, the referee today. Oh, it is hot in my room here today. It's been a bit flat this for Manchester City. It's no surprise. Everyone in the stadium's just waiting for full time, aren't they? Really, they're waiting to go and celebrate. They're waiting to watch Manchester City lift the trophy. I know a fair few of the fans have been asking and hoping that Manchester City aren't going to pitch invade. It speeds the process up for the celebration. City already have the trophy and all the celebration stuff ready for the presentation of the trophy. I'm not aware that there is going to be a parade for the Premier League trophy at this moment in time. Manchester City are going to, I imagine, wait for the FA Cup final to take place. It'll be interesting to see if they do like a kind of a domestic trophy parade. That'll be interesting. And then wait for the Champions League. Or they might just wait for the Champions League, and if we do a historic treble, just parade all the trophies at one time. So if there is to be a parade, it'll more than likely come the day after the Champions League final, or maybe the Monday. We'll have to wait and see. I imagine City will want the fans to get back from Istanbul, and if that's the case, they'll probably delay that till Monday afternoon on the 12th of June, which will have... There'll be a parade at some point. I don't think Man City will want to do a parade for a final they've attended and lost and come back to parade a trophy they won 3 weeks ago. I presume that's when City are going to parade, though, on the 12th, which will include the Premier League, and hopefully it will be the historic treble of the FA Cup and Champions League as well. City are 2 good results away from making history, and Manchester United fans cannot accept that. They really can't, really struggling. But United will feel a little bit better about themselves because they know that they've already beaten City once this season, albeit for a very dodgy decision. And they do have it in their own hands to try and stop Manchester City replicating what their club have done. And I can't think of a worse way to prepare for the Champions League final than losing to that lot in Salford. As Rico Lewis just bursts forward. Could have had the shot. Foden will have the shot instead. And Mahrez in acres of space. Still asking for the ball at the back post. Cole Palmer can't put the ball across. Good work this from Cesar Azpilcueta. I've been impressed with Cole Palmer. He's worked hard. He's looked good when City have been attacking. He's looked really good in my opinion. As Kalvin Phillips picks the ball up now. Riyad Mahrez dispossessed. And Chelsea can come away with the ball here, looking to try and hit City on the counter again. Sterling's got lots of options. Goes to Lewis Hall. He cuts inside onto his right foot. Makes a good connection with it and a good save from Stefan Ortega-Moreno. I've been impressed every time I've seen Stefan Ortega-Moreno for City so far this season. Very impressed. Lewis Hall gets a good strike with it on his right foot. Comfortable save for Stefan Ortega-Moreno in goal. As we have been informed that Manchester City have no plans for Zach Steffen to come back to Manchester City, and they do have interest from Germany in his signature to try and seal a permanent move for him as he spent the season out on loan at Middlesbrough, who haven't secured promotion to the Premier League. So I'm not sure how much money they've got to potentially try and sign him, and whether he wants to stay there or not, we'll see. So free kick comes in from Chelsea, headed down, and Ortega-Moreno will pick that one up for City. A good position that for a free kick to be putting a ball into the box. Chalobah wins the header, heads it down, comfortable in the end for Ortega-Moreno. Here's Kalvin Phillips for Manchester City, as we're now 26 likes away from 100 likes. So any help towards that, I'd be much appreciated. Subscribe as well if you're new around here, and press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. And don't forget to go and check out today's video sponsor, BetMate. Links and details there in the description and also in the live chat. I am absolutely roasting. Give me 1 minute, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to go get my fan because it's too hot in here. I'm struggling. Sorry, guys. I minimalised the noise. Sorry, guys. It's just unbearable. Absolutely unbearable. My house holds heat very well. It gets very hot. I was trying to cool down a little bit. So this game again, it's a bit flat. It's a bit flat. I'm wondering if Man City don't want the pitch invasion, so they'll think if we have a flat end at the Etihad, no one's going to pitch invade, and we can lift our trophy and we can all move on with our lives. As we're now 24 likes away from 100 likes. We're making some good progress. Don't forget, leave a thumbs up. Let's make it 100 likes. Sophie, and thanks very much for tuning in. As you say, yeah, so far it'll do. We're winning. If Man City go on to win this game by 1-0, it'll do me. A win's a win. A win's brilliant preparation for a very difficult match midweek against Brighton away from home. Yeah, it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things to either club. Brighton are going to secure Europa League football next season. Man City is still going to be Premier League champions. We don't want any injuries, but we do want a good game of football, and we do want to continue our good performance. That's not the best of passes from Ortega-Moreno, and Kalvin Phillips put under pressure, can't take control of it, and Chelsea all over that. And good defending in the end from Manchester City, but maybe a poor pass from Chelsea. Dare I suggest as well that they should have done a little bit better there from that position that they were in. Rico Lewis plays the passing, and he's not very happy that Riyad Mahrez hasn't made the run. I think Mahrez thought he was offside, and I think he's upset that if Mahrez was offside, why he's not looked across the line and kept him onside for that pass to come in. I think Rico Lewis has rights to be upset about that. So City just getting their subs prepared, and I think Johnny Stones is going to be coming on pretty soon. I presume for either Walker or Akanji. Surprised we're going to the bench, I am. Just Sean says City being a bit too passive. It's one of them that we won't really wake up until Chelsea, if they do, grab an equaliser. And we're struggling ever so slightly down this right-hand side, but the whole exercise of today is to make sure that we get a bit of rotation in. So it's very much looking like City, when we've got first teamers starting, are looking around the hour mark. If things are going well, the first teamers that we have got starting can be rotated. So anyone that starts against Brighton, if things are going well, around 60-70 minutes in, Man City will be looking towards the bench to rotate a little bit. Mr. Client, thanks for tuning in. So it's going to be Manuel Akanji then that is rotated, and John Stones is going to come on. I presume that Akanji may well miss out and sit out the next game as well. He might return the favour. Johnny Stones might start the next game and do 60 minutes against Brighton, and then Akanji comes on. We'll have to wait and see what City's approach is. So a free kick here for Manchester City, which Riyad Mahrez is going to take. Laporte forward, Stones forward, Palmer, Phillips. They're all forward as well here for Manchester City. So some defending for Chelsea to do. Mahrez it is that puts the ball in. It's a good ball, and Phillips! It's the post! Oh, Kalvin Phillips nearly grabbed himself his first City goal. Desperately unlucky. It was a good header. Again, another chance for City to get that killer second goal. It hasn't come, but it still might here. Although not the greatest of touches that from Cole Palmer, and Chelsea can come away and think about the counter-attack. Desperately unlucky that from Kalvin. And City is looking to get their numbers back here. And Raheem Sterling threads a pass into Lewis Hall, left-hand side. Chance for him to put a ball into the box. I think he's going to go for a shot himself. Good save from Ortega-Moreno, and Kai Havertz can't follow the rebound in. And it's starting to open up and become an end-to-end game here. City holding on to that clean sheet. 58 minutes in at the Etihad, 1-0 up. Rico Lewis nearly intercepted that, but Loftus-Cheek can pick the ball up, and Raheem Sterling wants the ball playing, and he gets it into the channel. Laporte says he's got it covered. Ortega-Moreno, stay on your line, and good defending that from Aymeric Laporte with his blue hair today in celebration of Manchester City winning the Premier League. Not the best of passes from Laporte, and Kalvin Phillips as well, under pressure from Conor Gallagher there to keep hold of the ball. I'm wondering how long it's going to be before Chelsea start to look at this high line that City play, and maybe look at someone like Mudryk coming on to try and cause problems as Azpilcueta slips and Cole Palmer comes forward. And Cole Palmer slips at a crucial time, and that allows Chelsea to intercept. Here is Conor Gallagher then to Kai Havertz, the goalscorer of the Champions League final when City played Chelsea back in 2021. The goalscorer of the only goal of that game. A very underwhelming performance from Manchester City that evening, and hoping for a not similar result when Manchester City go up against Inter Milan in just under 3 weeks' time. 20 days it is to the Champions League final, as Erling Haaland waves to the crowd, warming up here for Manchester City. The fans are out in their numbers. They want to see the main man, Erling Haaland. I feel sorry for Bernardo Silva that's warming up alongside Erling Haaland. You can't help but feel that maybe a front two here from City put Haaland up. It may not take City too long to get that killer second goal, but do Manchester City want to run the risk of injury? Haaland and Rodri played a lot of minutes, and Grealish has as well. And Bernardo and De Bruyne and Gundogan. I'm not too sure if we will be seeing too many more subs. Stones has come on for Akanji. Kyle Walker, the only other regular player here that's on the pitch. As that's a good ball through the legs of Azpilcueta from Cole Palmer. It'd be good to have Nathan Ake back over the next week or so to get some more crucial minutes in his legs, see how fit he is ahead of the Champions League final and the FA Cup final as well. It could be playing a pivotal part, and that could be a big selection headache for Manchester City as to if Nathan Ake is fit to go for the FA Cup final and the Champions League final. Do you go with Nathan Ake or do you go with Kyle Walker? As I presume that Akanji and Ruben Dias will be starting. And Aymeric Laporte put in a good performance here today as well, and certainly doing himself no harm whatsoever in potentially trying to get some more minutes for City between now and the Champions League final. So 23 likes, everyone, let's get them likes up, that'd be much appreciated. Here is Foden for Manchester City then, 61 minutes in. Phillips gives the ball to Riyad Mahrez now. Here's Phillips once more to Sergio Gomez. Here is Cole Palmer. Back to Aymeric Laporte. Foden. Is City coming forward now? Alvarez. Cole Palmer makes the run. Alvarez doesn't use him and is surrounded out. Needed to release that pass a bit sooner there for me, Julian Alvarez. Did he have the support would be the question, as Sterling's got Walker for pace here. John Stones covers the gap really well. And Sterling goes for a shot, saved well by Ortega-Moreno. Sterling looks like he's played with purpose. He looks like he wants that goal. He has something to prove. He's looked pretty good for Chelsea, I think, today, Raheem Sterling. He has the quality. I presume he's lacked a bit of consistency this season. I don't think he's made the right choice in his move to Chelsea, but he wanted regular playing time. He wanted to leave City. It is what it is. I think, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to start the celebrations early here. Whew, there we go. Strong bow. Mixed asks, what do I think of Fogden taking that kid's glove that he got from James Trafford? James Trafford, of course, spent the season out on loan at Bolton Wanderers, who has had a good season. Bolton, unfortunately, haven't secured promotion to the Championship from League One, unfortunately for them. Losing in the playoffs against Barnsley. James Trafford's had a good season with them, though. And Fogden, being a Bolton fan, has caused a bit of controversy because he keeps calling James Trafford his brother. which my first opinion on that I think is incredibly cringy. Is my first opinion. And then, yeah, this kid had a glove, a goalkeeping glove, which I think he wanted to show Fogden. I don't know whether they'd communicated. I presume they'd communicated either off camera or online that he knew he had this glove. And I don't know whether he's had an agreement to take this glove that he's not mentioned online. I'm not sure. As Sterling's in here, turns Kyle Walker, and Sterling, has that crossed the line? Flags up. Offside. John Stones keeps Man City's clean sheet. Did that cross the line? Sterling, was he offside? It's close. Did it cross the line is the question as to whether VAR would get involved in this. Walker got turned all too easily. It's a tame effort. It's a good clearance from Stones. It doesn't cross the line. Every season, someone clears it off the line. And it's a good clearance from Johnny Stones. Really good clearance. And keeps City's clean sheet. And, yeah, I don't know if Fogden had an agreement with this kid to take the glove off camera and it's not been included in the footage. Or, I don't know, it's clearly some kind of communication issue. Or whether Fogden was just pressuring him into giving him the glove. I don't know. It was very strange. I also thought it was very strange that Fogden said he'll repay him the favour and get him something else. And I just found it strange, to be honest. I'm wondering if James Trafford's going to... Because I think Fogden's agreed to give the glove back to the kid. I don't know if James Trafford's going to get involved or not. I don't know. I don't know. It's odd. Exposed. I've not seen the exposed DM, so I don't know what's been said. Really don't know what's been said. To be honest, with a position that Fogden's in, over 1 million subscribers, he doesn't need a James Trafford signed glove, and it's a great little bit of memorabilia for the little lad to have. So I understand him wanting to include it on the footage, and it'd been nice for Fogden to have said, "Oh, look what he's got! He's got his great glove. Enjoy it." And that's all it needed to be, rather than just. But he's a bit of a show off, isn't he? Really, a bit of a show off. I don't really understand why Fogden took the glove. That's a great ball forward. Good touch from Mahrez as he kept himself on side. The answer is no. It was strange from Fogden, to be honest. It was a very, very strange. I like the internet pick and chooses what they choose to get their knickers in a twist over. There's a lot of stuff that Fogden does that I feel like people could get their knickers in a twist over, and I think it's just one of many things that's out there. Things like, why is Fogden in the Manchester City end against Real Madrid when he isn't a Manchester City fan but gets special privileges? But that's a Manchester City issue, not a Fogden issue, is how Fogden will see that, I'm sure. I don't know. I enjoyed his coverage that he did across the World Cup. I thought he did some good coverage. I enjoyed watching his videos. I've not really watched too much since. Not really been my football YouTube cup of tea. He did make a Madrid game. I couldn't watch it. I didn't watch it. Alvarez too strong there. The referee's given the free kick and Mahrez puts it in the back of the net. And that's a bit weak, that. A bit weak from the defender. Was it Chalobah? Let's have a look at this. It might be Fofana, sorry. He makes the header. There's a little shove in there. It's a bit weak. It just comes across as unlikable with strange antics. It's hard to disagree, Mick said. It really is hard to disagree, and his dad's equally as strange. So, Conor Gallagher and Raheem Sterling are going to come off here for Chelsea in the final 20 minutes. And we're going to see Mudryk. It's going to be one player. Dynamic, quick, needs to be careful, City do. And Madueke come on for Chelsea. Is Chelsea coming forward then into the penalty area? Kai Havertz with a shot. Good save from Stefan Ortega-Moreno. Right, guys, 22 likes to go. Any help towards that would be much appreciated. Well, let's get them likes up. Subscribe as well if you're new around here. And also don't forget to go and check out today's video sponsor, BetMate. Links and details. They are in the description and also in the live chat. Very, other than possession, it's been a bit of an even game, this one, really. Man City have failed to kill this game off, and if we end up dropping points here, I'll be laying into the fact that we've not killed this game off, and I think Chelsea have not really struggled to get in behind at Manchester City, and I think this is the problem when we're rotating, that teams watching this, in particular Man United and Inter Milan, will be thinking there's maybe some cracks in the squad, but you can't really take much information away from a rotated team because it's not the team that's going to be turning up at Wembley or at in Istanbul. Mixed Sid. I think it's just the performance from the team of the rotated squad, and it's just does seem a bit flat. I think everyone's just there to party, enjoy themselves, and watch the trophy be lifted. And this game's a bit of a hindrance. It's stopping everybody from seeing what they want to see. It'd be interesting to see, because Chelsea have won the Premier League a couple of times. That it'd be interesting to see if any of their fans stay to watch the trophy being lifted, or whether they're going to leave or not. Long ball forward from City. Good ball forward. Mahrez, he's in. They want handball. Squares it across, and Alvarez, they want offside. It's put in the back of the net. I think the goal has been given, and Julian Alvarez doubles Manchester City's lead. There's not much celebration going on, so I'm just going to wait to see if VAR is going to have a look at this. Chelsea were definitely appealing for a handball of some kind. Alvarez doubles Manchester City's lead. Haaland stripped, ready to come on for City for the final 19 minutes. I mean, the fact that Alvarez isn't celebrating tells me that maybe there is something wrong with this goal. Let's have a look. Chelsea want handball from Mahrez. It is handball. That's going to be disallowed. There we go. And that's why they're not celebrating. This is going to remain 1-0. It is 100% handball. He uses his arm to control the ball. It's handball. Mahrez knows full well that it is. I mean, they're going to check offside. They're going to check everything. They don't need to check anything. It's handball. This doesn't even need to go to the monitor. Handball. And he's going across to the monitor. It doesn't need to go across to the monitor. It's handball. We know it's handball. Doesn't need anything else. There you go. Clear as day. Handball. Bam. Handball. There you go. Goal disallowed. Handball. The fact that Alvarez never celebrated the goal tells you all you needed to know. I wonder if Haaland is going to still come on for Manchester City. And feel sorry for Alvarez there. There was that killer second goal we were looking for. Mahrez is going to come off for Manchester City. Haaland is going to still come on. So he is going to get 19 minutes here. And I presume Alvarez is going to go on the right wing for City and Haaland up top. I don't think this is what Chelsea's defenders, 72 minutes in, will want to be marking and defending against. But there it is. And Mahrez's final thing for this game is to handle with his arm, square it across for a goal to be given before being ruled out via VAR. And City remain 1-0 up rather than 2. And yeah, John, it's just about trophy presentation. As I said, this match feels a bit like a hindrance. It's stopping people and the fans and the players from what they've paid the good money for to see. And they want to see Man City lift that trophy. Chelsea could go on to score 2 goals and not a single person in that stadium wearing a City shirt will care. They just hear about seeing Manchester City lift that trophy. As Haaland comes on. So 11 goals. Dixie Dean holds the record for most goals scored in a season as Alvarez takes control of the ball. Threads one in. Haaland squared across, and Rico Lewis can't follow it in. And another chance goes begging for Manchester City. Another chance goes begging. 22 likes then, everybody, to 100 likes. Let's get them likes up. 22 to go. Desperately unlucky there for Rico Lewis not to grab what I think would have been his first Premier League goal. He has scored for City before. He gets there, Rico Lewis. He does. He gets there. Here come Chelsea now. Good ball squared in. Mudryk has a shot blocked well by John Stones and into the arms of Stefan Ortega-Moreno. As we're now 20 likes away from 100 likes. We're getting there. 20 to go. It's Premier League trophy lifting day. What's not to like about it? So please do leave a thumbs up. That'd be much appreciated. Ball just getting knocked around here by Manchester City. I like that Colbjorn. That's made me laugh. Kai Havertz looks frustrated out there. It's not like Chelsea have struggled not to create. They've had their opportunities and they've not put them away. Nor have City, but City are sending the big boys on now. Rodri's coming on. De Bruyne's coming on. I wonder why we're not giving them a full rest. I thought City had taken the opportunity, put them on the bench and just let them have a full rest. I'm not sure. Rather than come on for 14 minutes here. All I can think of is its sharpness, and they might just want to give 15, 20 minutes here, 15, 20 minutes there, start them and give them an hour here just to keep them nice and sharp maybe in the game here. I wonder. Don't know. Very interesting now over the next two games to see how Pep Guardiola manages the squad. I don't know. I don't know how he's going to do it. As Alvarez into a good position, chooses not to take the shot. Foden. So Foden's gone out wide for City. And Palmer's gone on the right wing. There we go. Alvarez through the middle. Goes for a shot! And spilt by Kepa. Gathered up in the second attempt. For Haaland could follow that one in. And that's going to be a free kick for Chelsea. Kalvin Phillips committing the foul there on Ruben Loftus-Cheek. 13 minutes remaining then, and City can make them sub. Sergio Gomez going to be the first of them coming off, and Kevin De Bruyne is the man that's going to come on. As I said, the big guns coming on here for City. And we're also going to see Aymeric Laporte come off for Manchester City and Rodri come on. That's interesting. I wonder if this is... I wonder if Pep's just going to experiment here and put Rodri at centre-back. I wonder. Interesting. I mean, the thing with City is, I can already tell you our starting 11 for the FA Cup final and our starting 11 for Istanbul. So it's so difficult for the other rotated players to come on because they're not going to start because the team selects itself. That team that beat Real Madrid will be the team that starts the FA Cup final and Istanbul for the Champions League final. And you can't disagree with that as De Bruyne tries to thread a pass into Haaland and defended well by Chelsea. And there's gaps appearing left, right and centre here for Chelsea. It's good goalkeeping from Ortega-Moreno. City have been far too open in this game for my liking. Anyway, 20 likes everybody. Let's get them 20 likes before full time. And then we can enjoy the trophy presentation. Don't forget to subscribe as well if you're new around here. And do press that red button, press the bell and put your push notifications on. can't help but feel like the atmosphere would have been electric had Arsenal done their job yesterday, which part of me wanted Arsenal to do the job yesterday just so we could do it ourselves, because this team deserves to go out there and win the league from a performance of us being on the field rather than celebrating at our training ground. It's great to win the Premier League. It's just an underwhelming... It's underwhelming is maybe the wrong word for me to use, but it's certainly not my choice of how I'd want to win the league. I certainly don't like taking it down to the last day because the nerves of it's horrific and horrendous. You end up, if it doesn't go to plan, of it being out of relief. We saw that in 2012. We saw it last year as well, where things aren't going to plan, and in the end we make it happen. And it's just, the nerves don't need that. And I like it to be comfortable, and I like Man City to win the league based on our own performance rather than Arsenal losing yesterday and handing us the Premier League trophies. It has made this game a very flat game. Boy Race makes a good point. We won't be able to rest players and risk injury. Yeah, it's one side of the argument. The other side of it is it's not. It's flat. it is the other side of it. As Lewis Hall comes off for Chelsea and Koulibaly comes on, and Chelsea making another change. It's going to be Loftus-Cheek coming on. Coming off, and Chukwuemeka coming on. Makes it you're kind of correct, yeah. We won the league yesterday. I was on my way to a party, driving along. City win the league, and I'm like, my video needs to be published. Release my video, yay! Whereas, City taking the lead today, you know what I mean? The scenes, and it's been crazier. And it's great to win the league. As I said, it's great. I'm not complaining. But it's not my choice of how I'd like to win the league. I've had it a couple of times, and it does make it a bit flat. But equally, I don't particularly like taking it to the last game, and I don't like being put under pressure and needing to do something final game. I'd rather have it wrapped up. My ideal situation, we nearly had it for me, which was City need to win this weekend, and I'd rather City went first rather than Arsenal. We have it in our own hands, and if City blew it, we could watch the Arsenal game and then we could have a party. That wouldn't be as bad, but the fact that Arsenal went first, blew it, and handed us the trophy for us to play a day later, where the players have clearly been out celebrating, partying, and we'll have sore heads. It's just made it a bit flat. Fans, I think, are just starting to get a little bit more riled up now if they know that they're less than 10 minutes away from Manchester City being able to lift the trophy, which is why a lot of people in the stadium are there today. $19 likes to go then. I think it'll be very interesting to see the broadcasters' selection for the TV games. I remember saying to you guys that I won't have to look for any more live streams online to watch any of the games from now till the end of the season, as everything's going to get broadcast. Obviously the FA Cup finals broadcast live, Champions League final is. Our match with Brighton's also being broadcasted. It's done for selection, so the broadcasters don't know what's happening, but for the Brentford game, final game, there's nothing riding on it really, and there's 3 big relegation matches, which I presume BT will want one of them and Sky will want the other 2. And if there's no more games being put on other than the 3 games, I'm not sure City will be on. And I'll have to find streams. Jerkmate returns. Could well be. That could be next Sunday. And so, yeah, the season comes to an end next Sunday for the Premier League. For Manchester City, it does not. That's next Sunday. Dare I say, a bit of a hindrance to us. We don't care. Our season now stands on on June 3rd and June 10th. With the job already done for us here. Here's Alvarez then to Cole Palmer. 6 minutes, City fans. 6 minutes. 6 more minutes. Here is Kalvin Phillips for City now. Here's Alvarez tackled and put out for a throw-in. Koulibaly was the one with the challenge. And Chelsea can make, I think this is a final change. And it's going to be Kai Havertz that comes off. And it's going to be Cristian Pulisic that comes on. We brought on Rodri, De Bruyne, Haaland, Stones. I think City are allowed one more. We'll see if we make one more change. Here's Johnny Stones. Kalvin Phillips now to Kyle Walker. As we're now 18 likes away from 100 likes. De Bruyne. Cole Palmer. De Bruyne wants a corner. And gets a corner for Manchester City. So we're getting towards who's going to be my JSGC man of the match. Alvarez grabs the goal. I'm torn between Alvarez. Palmer, I think he's had a good game for City. Grabs that assist. As Azpilcueta and Haaland get into a bit of an argument there. He's again very annoyed there, Erling Haaland and Azpilcueta. The cross comes in towards Haaland, wins the header. Kalvin Phillips just nods it down. Rico Lewis gives it to Julian Alvarez. Cross comes in towards the back post. Chelsea can't head this one clear, and Cole Palmer's going to have a shot. Go fall nicely. This to Alvarez, and gets it wrong, high and wide, but the minutes tick away, and we're now 3.5 minutes away from Manchester City being able to fully celebrate their fantastic achievement of being Premier League champions for the 2022-2023 season. Alvarez just gets it all wrong and into the stands. The flags are flying for City. No one's leaving early today. You do surprise me. Here's Rodrigo now to Kalvin Phillips. Kyle Walker then. I have no idea what City's formation is now. It's Kyle Walker playing alongside John Stones as a back two, and that's about it. Phillips to Stones. Keith, thanks for tuning in, and thanks very much for your kind comment as well. Ball sent forward to Haaland. Chelsea can intercept. Kalvin Phillips can get that one under control. Here is Alvarez to Foden. It's a little shove in the back, and that will be a free kick for Manchester City. Azpilcueta wants a free kick for handball. Azpilcueta's just a bit of a knob, isn't he? It's not the first time I've said that on a live stream watching City play Chelsea. Every time I watch him play against us, I just think he's a bit of a knob. I enjoyed Cole Palmer pulling strings around him. City's, was Cole Palmer like third, fourth choice winger for City, pulling him to bits. That's a good ball forward now. Here's Walker. Cross comes in, and yeah, we won't speak about that. It looks like the City fans are preparing to pitch invade here, you know. The fans are stood up that are around the first tier, that are around the front of the stadium, look ready to go on the pitch. Phil Foden's been given the man of the match. I think I'm going to give mine to Cole Palmer. Always good to see Phil Foden playing in a central midfield role. I like him in the central midfield role. I think long term that's something City could explore. De Bruyne slips. Alvarez is going to commit a foul on his Argentinian teammate, Enzo Fernandez. And I can't help but feel like Enzo Fernandez, if he wanted to wait an extra 6 months, could have signed for Man City this summer, rather than being stuck at Chelsea. And they've got a lot of rebuilding to do. They've already spent £600 million last summer, over the course of 12 months, bringing players in that haven't been right for them. And they look miles off the pace. And the fact that we've got a Chelsea first team going up against a not-arsed second-string Manchester City team, as Chelsea do burst forward and it's just into the stands. It's just not been very good, and I think it speaks volume for Chelsea, to be honest. What do I think of Chelsea's prospects for next season? They're bringing Pochettino in. The big problem is they've spent so much money bringing players in who aren't very good, and because they've done that, they're not going to let these players leave for another season or two. So these players that aren't very good aren't going to leave. They're still going to be here, and I think they're just far off. I don't see Chelsea competing anywhere near the top of the Premier League for the next 2 or 3 seasons. And for the amount of money that they've spent, I think is awful, quite frankly. I think they just need to build baby steps. As I was saying before, you've just got to look at things and just say, what is progress? Chelsea haven't had a very good season this season. It's going to be a bottom half finish for them. With that being said, it means Chelsea need to try and build for next season and try and see if they can get into a European spot. That's progress. And then from there, see if they can get a Champions League spot the season after. Progress. And then see if they can compete at the top. But there's so many good teams in the Premier League. And I'm not just speaking about Newcastle, who's had a very good season, Liverpool, Man United, Man City, Arsenal. I'm talking the likes of Aston Villa, Brentford, Brighton. I think these are all better than what Chelsea are. I think Brighton and Brentford will give us more of a game than what Chelsea have today, and Chelsea have had their opportunities. So it's poor. As Keith says, we need to spend another £2 billion if we want to get it covered. Right, we're into the second minute of 3 minutes added on here at the Etihad. We're now 16 likes away from 100 likes. Any help towards that would be much appreciated. Subscribe as well if you're new round here. Press that red button, press the bell and put your push notifications on. And do go and check out today's video sponsor, BetMate. Links and details, they are in the description and also in the live chat. There's an extra bit of covering over here, but Mudryk doesn't get his ball over the top right. And that is cut off by Stefan Ortega-Moreno, and now we are just 1 minute away from the full-time whistle. And the Chelsea away end starting to empty. Some fans are staying. Are City going to pitch invade? That's the question. The stewards are in position. That Mudryk transfer's awful. That's what I mean. Waste of money bringing these players in. Raheem Sterling, a player that just weren't needed. Hasn't brought that much to the Chelsea squad. They spent €120 million on Enzo Fernandez. I think he's a good player. You can build your team around him, but he's not had much of an impact for Chelsea this season. And City just taking their time here now. They're ready. We're going to win this game. And our winning streak's going to continue. And it's all about keeping that momentum. Our rotated team's done its job. We've gone injury-free. So for great success. The only question now is, are the fans going to pitch invade? They're not in the right position here for the players. They want to be near that, near the dressing room, really. So maybe the referee's just waiting for that as a ball cross comes in, and Chelsea nearly find an equaliser. Azpilcueta can't do it, and that makes me very happy. Makes me very happy. Timothy, thanks for tuning in. Jamzor, thanks for tuning in. I think a corner's been given to Chelsea. A little bit more pushing and shoving going on. Andy, thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated. Don't go anywhere, everybody. We've got trophy celebration to enjoy. Pep Guardiola. He's pensive here. Some defending for City to do. Corner comes in. Header won by Chelsea, and it's over the top of the crossbar. And that will be the 3 points for Manchester City. I was a bit premature with me saying City going to get the 3 points. I wasn't expecting Chelsea to do anything, but we're more than a minute over time here. And I think Chelsea's players, is there going to be a pitch invasion? That's the question, as to whether the players want to be near the tunnel so they can just run down it rather than being mobbed. Pep Guardiola, he wants the full-time whistle. And there is the full-time whistle. And we can applaud. And Manchester City, they're just trying to get the players off the pitch. I think they are pitch invading. They're just trying to get the players off the pitch. De Bruyne, Haaland and everyone running down the tunnel. And there is a pitch invasion here. I know they asked for there not to be a pitch invasion. But there is a pitch invasion. They clearly had a procedure in place to make that happen. They're just trying to get the players, for their own safety, out of the way and down the tunnel. It means we're going to have a delay on the reaction of lifting the Premier League trophy, while the players can go and celebrate in the dressing room, get all the merchandise and everything sorted. Big smile on the players' faces, and they can go and enjoy that. It actually gives City a little bit more time just to soak it up and absorb it. And Manchester City, I feel like, just feel it's custom. Win the Premier League, we're going to pitch invade, we're going to go on the pitch and we're going to go and celebrate. Final home game of the season. I'm not going to sit here and criticise for people going on the pitch. It's just one of them situations. As we're now 14 likes away from 100 likes, so this little delay gives us a perfect excuse to get them likes up. 14 likes to go. Any help towards that would be much appreciated. Subscribe if you are new around here. Press that red button, press the bell and put your push notifications on. I do go and check out today's video sponsor, BetMate. Thanks very much to them for sponsoring today's video. Links and details, they are in the description and also in the live chat. The fans on the pitch, the flares are going off. There's some good scenes there. Make some nice photography for the club to use as well. I know they discourage the use of pyrotechnics, but it does make a good picture, let's be honest. City now asking for the fans to leave the pitch immediately. I mean, there's no players now on the pitch, so fans are celebrating. I'm hoping the fans aren't going to do what they did last year and destroy the pitch, destroy the goal. And the longer it takes with the fans coming onto the pitch to clear off the pitch, the longer it takes for us to delay with the trophy lifting. And my mentality on this pitch invasion malarkey is, I don't mind it. I think it's good. I think it helps the fans to feel connected to the club, that they're still able to go onto the pitch and celebrate, because Liverpool could win the Premier League. They're not going to pitch invade, I don't think. United could win it. Chelsea could win it. They're not going to pitch invade. Some opposition fans are going to look at it and say it's very tin pot of City. It's 5 Premier Leagues in 6. Doesn't have the same feel for Manchester City, but this helps us to have that same feel. My only criticism is if it takes them forever to clear off the pitch. We've had the fun, the pictures have been got, the flares are there. Fantastic. Have a chan. Off you go. Done. And we can go and enjoy the trophy lifting, because it's going to take forever to clear this off the pitch now, isn't it? That's just it, boy racer. I'm not so sure Chelsea, United or Liverpool would. I think any other team would. Them three, I'm not so sure they would. They like to go in with the mentality of, we've won this plenty of times before. It's just another one to tick off. It's a great feeling, but we're not going to pitch invade. Because it's the type of thing you associate with teams reaching Wembley for a playoff final or getting promoted to the Premier League. It's things you associate with it. Whereas, deep down, we all love a good pitch invasion. We all love a good pitch invasion. As I said, I've got no problem with it. As long as it doesn't take them too long to clear off the pitch, got no problem with that. The bigger problem you get is you get people that just stay on the pitch and aren't moving and they don't want to move is when you get a bigger problem. To be fair, it's not taking them too long to clear off the pitch. To be fair, it's starting already to clear away. I think the stewards are just starting just to edge forward to encourage people to push back and go back to the seats, which is what we're waiting to happen here. And then you get things like this, like the City fans pushing the stewards, and why? As Khaldoon's in attendance for Manchester City today, City's chairman. Sure, he'll be a very happy man. As I said, pitch invasion is starting to be cleared away. It's not taking them too long to do so. The longer it takes to clear the pitch, the longer it takes to set up, and the longer it takes to lift the trophy. As that Chelsea away end, there's a few fans that have stayed, to be fair, and give them credit for. We are edging in towards 100 likes, which is fantastic. We are now 11 likes away, nearly into the nervous 90s, so any help towards that would be great. Another flare goes off for the City fans on the pitch. And I mean, I've not really heard much about the pitch invasion heading into this game, to be fair. I think if City were so discouraging of the pitch invasion and they didn't want it to happen, they could just ask Pep Guardiola to say in his press conference, please keep off the pitch. We've already won the Premier League, so it's just one statement that comes out from the manager, and I think everyone would stay off the pitch. I think City like the scenes. I think City like the pitches. I think they like it deep down. It's last game of the season at home. Bit of fun. Dortmund, how are they getting on? So we are into the nervous 90s now. 9 likes to go to 100 likes. We're getting there. Ready for the trophy to be lifted. Just have a look actually around the ground, see if there's anything that's happened of impact during this second half. Atletico Madrid have beaten Osasuna by 3-0. Dortmund then, 19 minutes to go. Augsburg have gone down to 10 men, and Sebastian Haller has given Dortmund the lead. Sebastian Haller could be a Bundesliga champion. That is mental. As Dortmund going 2 points clear. They don't have a superior goal difference, so they are going to have to win their game next week. Who are Dortmund playing? Dortmund fixtures. Dortmund are at home to Mainz next Saturday. The banner then, the treble is on. 1 down, 2 to go. And that very much is the situation. We're 2 wins away from history being made for Manchester City. Players, I presume, still in the dressing room then. As you got fans that's just going on the pitch sliding around. They have got security on the goal, protecting the goal to make sure it doesn't get damaged. As fans working their way back into the stands. It'd be really good for Dortmund to win the league. It'd be good to see. And to be fair, I mean, we had tickets to go to Dortmund away, and the communication I had with them was fantastic. I met some Dortmund fans as well this season, and they've been spot on and sound. I'm hoping one day that there's currently an adult that has a Jack Grealish haircut. What is going on? Commentators having a good laugh about that. But yeah, I enjoyed everything about Dortmund, and I hope they go on to win the league. That'd be good. And Mixed informed me Las Palmas go on to be promoted to La Liga next week if they win, which is also good to see. Yeah, it's just full of people running around on the pitch and sliding. Because how often do you get to go on the Etihad's pitch and slide? Oh, we've gone back to the pundits. Go back onto the pitch. That was entertaining. I was enjoying that. Why are people who are going on the pitch sliding? Because, as I said, how often do you get to go on the pitch and slide? Oh, man, that fully grown man, an adult, a mature adult with a Jack Grealish haircut. That is amazing. Now, there's a fair few kids out there that have got the Jack Grealish cut, but an adult, there we go. That post needs a JSGC sticker, and that's what would have been happening if we'd have been at the Etihad today. A JSGC sticker would have been going on the post. Ah, man, Roy Keane there can watch Man City lift the trophy. That's funny. I know there's been quite a bit being made about former Rags being at the City games doing punditry or whatever, and Man City being a little bit too accommodating. I'm sure Roy Keane will be included on that, the likes of Gary Neville. I mean, I saw a pathetic video of Patrice Evra being mobbed by City fans during the build-up to the Real Madrid game just before kick-off. And that was pathetic, that it was full of City fans with City shirts trying to have a picture with Patrice Evra wearing a full red suit trying to be a wind-up merchant. I just wanted somebody just to lob something at him. Having pictures with him. No true City fans having pictures with Patrice Evra. Do I feel Inter can cause us problems? They start two up top, Edin Dzeko, former City man, quality, Lautaro Martinez, good player as well. Can they cause us problems? Of course they can. First goal, as always in a Champions League game, it's crucial. City need to turn up. We play like we did against Bayern Munich at home. We play like we did against Real Madrid at home. We win. It's as simple as that. But if we don't, and we allow Inter to get a foothold into the game, we get frustrated if they start time wasting. If Inter Milan get that all-important first goal, we are going to struggle. If City score that first goal, it opens that game up and Inter's game plan out of the window. They came out the blocks against AC Milan first 15 minutes. They'll be pushing early for that opening goal. Ah, that is nice. Oh. I'm going to keep my opinions about Patrice Evra to myself. If JSGC speaks, he's in big trouble. Oh, I'm going to keep my opinions to myself. As we're now 8 likes away from 100 likes, so any help towards that would be much appreciated. We're making good progress. As we've nearly cleared the pitch and they can start getting the stage set, literally, for the Premier League trophy to be lifted for Manchester City. Andy, as I said, JSGC has a forefront of professionalism there. So, you said them words, not me. I didn't say them words. Who turns up at the Etihad wearing a red suit trying to get a reaction out of people? Why were City fans trying to have pictures with him? What's going on there? Mullen just... Yeah. And there's some of the stuff he comes out with on Twitter as well. It's just, this is what I'm going back to this argument again, that we've not got the Manchester City representatives there that much. Micah Richards is the only one, and even he started to twist along to appeal to the masses, not the few. There's just so many agendas against Manchester City. And it's not just Manchester United that don't like Manchester City. It's literally everybody. So it's cool. It's the in-fashion thing to not like Manchester City. And we'll go back to that word that I just mentioned before about there's a professional front. And I find a lot of these pundits don't have a lot of professionalism about them. I think in terms of punditry and some of the best that I've seen, I think Gary Neville's a pretty good pundit, and that hurts me to say. I think Thierry Henry's a fantastic pundit. Elsewhere, I'm not sure. Anyway, guys, while we just got a bit of an advert break, I am very quickly... I've not got anything new to roll for you guys. I wish I did, just for a quick minute so I can change my camera batteries. It's about to die. So I think I'll just roll a Mixed's halftime video very quickly, and I'll cut it off again once I'm sorted. So enjoy. I'm just changing my battery. See you in a minute.
What's going on, guys? Mixed here, back again for another cocktail video. And happy Easter, everyone. And it's time to celebrate again with the classic cocktails. We're going back to the 1920s now. So it is 1930. It is the special Savoy cocktail book. So the one I've been reading up on is the third rail number 2 cocktail, and it's supposed to be electrifying. So I want to see how electrifying this drink is, as we're still on the absinthe. So at the minute, I'm still going through absinthe. I've just got the thing for absinthe in the minute. I just can't get it on my head, and I love trying different absinthe cocktails. So let's go straight to this classic cocktail going back to 1930. So to make this classic cocktail, guys, the third rail number 2 is get your tin shaker and put in some ice. So let's build this cocktail. First ingredient to the tin, guys, is a dash of absinthe. So this is where it gets complicated. If you ever read the Savoy cocktail book, it's a weird measurement. It takes a little bit of maths to calculate. So I'll go through it right now with you. So it's got a dash of absinthe, which is 5 ml or 0.2 ounce. And then it's a third of Bacardi rum, a third of Calvados, and a third of a brandy. I'm using cognac. So for the third, using the old measurements, it is...
Thanks very much there to Mixed for providing that little entertainment for you guys while I just got my battery sorted. I have got it all sorted for you guys now. So I have full bars to go at. I was just charging it before. You might have seen me plugging my camera battery in before whilst I was getting sorted, and I apologised at half time. That's what I was just getting sorted. And yeah, we're just waiting for the stage to be set and Man City to lift the trophy. As we are only 7 likes away from 100 likes now, so any help towards that would be great. And Timothy, you are spot on. The pundits, they have to follow a script. They have to say certain things. It would be good, because a certain level of degree when it comes to punditry is you do have a, more so than many other jobs, a bit of a free rein to give your professional expertise. And you want a pundit to be impartial, you want them to be unbiased, you want them to say how it is, you want them to provide a little bit of entertainment, but you also want them, for what they're saying, you want it to be interesting. And I think just in terms of a well-rounded pundit, one of the ones I have the most respect for probably is Thierry Henry. He has no association with Manchester City, but he's one of them, as a player, I had a lot of respect for. And he's achieved so much and offers a lot about mentality about heading into a game. And I was speaking before about some players are made for football management. I think some former players are made for giving insight and punditry. And there's some good pundits out there, and there's also some very bad pundits. And in my opinion, it's what I was saying about Patrice Evra. JSGC wants to keep his opinions to himself, because if I speak, I'm in big trouble. I don't think that Patrice Evra, let's put it this way, he's not my favourite. Not my favourite pundit. I don't see what he brings to the table when it comes to offering expert analysis or expertise to the mentality of what's happening. Anyway, I'm only speaking about this because we're waiting for the stage to be set for City to lift the Premier League, which I'm sure Patrice Evra will be working for one of the international broadcasters. Will be hating every moment of it. We'll be hating it. I've already had a look on social media. I know Liverpool, United, Arsenal, everyone, they don't like Manchester City. They don't like what they see. And they're jealous because they're not us. 100% every word that I see is jealousy. They want to be the team that's winning 5 out of 6. They want to be the team that's winning 3 consecutive Premier League trophies. They want to be the team that's got the top goal scorer in the Premier League, breaking record after record in their team. They want to be record breakers. They want Pep Guardiola as their manager. They hate us because they aren't us. And that's the situation that we're in. Players fully enjoying themselves now. Timothy, you're spot on. It's good to have opposition views. It's good to have that level of banter, so to speak, that you can bounce off and you can offer two sides to the argument. My argument that I'm getting towards here is I don't think City have enough representation about putting their points of view across. You hear a lot in the media about hate towards Manchester City, and I hear very little about the praise. I was doing it on social media. Got so many bites off Arsenal and Liverpool fans before on Twitter about people saying Arsenal's bottled the league, and that all the talk is about Arsenal not winning the Premier League rather than speaking about Manchester City winning the league. And that might be because it's maybe people think it's a formality, maybe. But what Manchester City do and achieve on the pitch, to me, doesn't get spoken about enough. And the pundits, it should be their job to be speaking about how well Manchester City are doing. Because to me, you want to have a look at how to be a successful team in the Premier League. Man City are the model that they should be looking at. That's the level that they should be looking at. Gareth Southgate will be watching that game today thinking, you know what? Who am I impressed with? Who am I not impressed with? How do I approach these England games coming up? Well, I want as many of the Manchester City players that are English in that England team, putting that philosophy across. Because that's how good Manchester City are. I'm not saying that's a justification for putting someone like Kalvin Phillips in the team that hardly features, but the likes of Kyle Walker, John Stones, Phil Foden should be walking, and Jack Grealish as well, should be walking into that England team. So the stage is set. The Champions 23 shirts are on, and we are waiting now for the trophy to be lifted. The question is, can we hit 100 likes before we get to that prestigious moment? Just 5 likes to go, everybody. 5 to go. So please do leave a thumbs up if you haven't already. And it's the waiting, isn't it now? We've been waiting for over 20 minutes. It's not helped with the pitch invasion that it delays everything. You've just got to wait and wait and wait. I love Roy Keane's just remaining silent and not getting involved. They're speaking about some of the greatest teams of all time, and where do Man City rank amongst them? Naliak, thanks for tuning in, much appreciated. We're now 4 likes away from 100 likes. 4 to go. Timothy, I think you're spot on, as you say. It's sometimes it's new, it's history. People don't like it. at the end of the day, I'm just putting it down to it's because it's not their team. Which, jealousy. What we're here for. What we're here for. And we're here to have a party. The stage is set. The bananas are out. The sun shines out in Manchester. The drinks are flowing. All we need now, players to come out and let's go and lift that trophy. 3 times in a row, the three-peat. What an achievement from Manchester City. What an achievement. And just 4 likes to go. Let's get to 100 likes, everybody. Let's get up. Let's get them likes up. What's Jack Grealish chugging on there? Ederson wants a bit. What are they having there? I bet there's some form of alcohol in there. Ederson's necking it. Go on. 4 likes to go. And it is hard to argue. 5 out of 6 Premier League trophies is an incredible achievement. And Manchester City are one of the very best Premier League teams that's ever been seen, in my opinion. And it's right up there in terms of the last 40 or 50 years. Modern day teams. One of the best that's ever been seen. Domestically, done it all. And we have a chance to play a game that we've not had before in a cup final, an FA Cup final, the Manchester Derby, and that would be a brilliant way to end the domestic season. And then, of course, we have the chance to write our own history and write ourselves into European prestige in winning our first ever UEFA Champions League, the big ears. And we are one good result away from doing that. We are 180 minutes away from matching Manchester United of 1999 and winning the historic treble. The treble. The one that's difficult to win because all the big games get sandwiched in right at the end. And it's brilliant to see. We're now just 2 likes away from 100 likes. Let's get them likes up. And the City staff. That's what I like about Man City when we're doing the trophy celebrations. They let the staff go out first and they let the staff enjoy it, because without the staff it doesn't happen. Really, it doesn't happen. And Mick said you spot on. It's modern day history being made by the club. Modern day history. As the staff make their way out in what's been an outstanding achievement. Been a brilliant achievement by all those associated with Manchester City to ensure that they win 3 Premier League trophies in a row. Timothy asks if I could have a type of player to help strengthen the City team. What type would it be attribute-wise? And that's a good point. I think midfield. I think the midfield's the big area. And I think attribute-wise, I'd like some fresh energy. I think the biggest problem that we've got in midfield, obviously Gundogan stays, Bernardo stays, and the squad stays as it is. You want to improve on it is the age of some of the players in there. And I think the 3 positions really to have a good look at that we could do with being freshened up. Central midfield would be the biggest one, and we need some energy in there because we've got some aging legs. Gundogan, De Bruyne, they're getting no younger. I would like someone who's nice and direct, someone who's good at moving the ball, someone who's good with the pressing, someone that's good with the tackling, the complete package. A kind of midfielder that in 4 or 5 years' time, when the day comes where we won't have a Gundogan, we won't have a De Bruyne, we won't have a Bernardo Silva, we can rely upon them to be the new spine. And over the next 12 months, I think that's what City need to address. And I think that's why City are working hard to try and get Gundogan on a new contract, because I think the player they want is Bellingham, and I don't think we're going to get him. The other positions, Mahrez is getting no younger, so I think a right winger could be what's needed for City. Someone nice and pacey, nice and direct wouldn't go amiss, but it's not really how Pep likes his wingers. He likes his wingers to be nice and acute and nice and accurate. Cutting inside, use both feet. as Manchester City's Premier League trophy makes its way across to the stand. One of the members of the city and the community is going to bring it across. What a privilege and honour it is. And JSGC's had the privilege of lifting the Premier League trophy for a picture, and I can tell you right now that it's heavy. So it's not easy. Right, guys, 1 like to go. We're set to lift the Premier League trophy. Who wants to be the famous 100th like on JSGC's live stream? The live stream where Manchester City make it a three-peat, 5 Premier League trophies out of 6, 3 in a row. Who wants to be the 100th like? Leave a thumbs up. That would be much appreciated. I think the other area that we'll be looking at would be a fullback. And I think City are looking at a centre-back that can cover in fullback, or a fullback that can cover in centre would help City as well. So like Josca Gvardiol to me would be perfect. And if that means a Laporte and Cancelo leave to bring him in, I'm fine with that. Oh, this room is so hot. As the Man City coaching staff now make their way out. Premier League champions 2022-2023. It's been a roller coaster of a season. Richard Wright. But the annual appearance of Richard Wright. I like it. I like it. I think it's going to be Pep Guardiola. It's going to be the next one out. Yeah, it's going to be Pep Guardiola. Going to be the next one out for Manchester City. I think Chelsea players just interrupting the title celebrations there, just making the way out of the Etihad as Pep Guardiola makes his way out to have his appreciation for the fans. And what an appropriate time for us to hit 100 likes as well. The main man, Pepe G, man that signed a new contract at Manchester City. We've got Pep for at least another 2 seasons. He wins himself another Premier League trophy. Which is fantastic to see. Scott Carson's following him out. The players follow him out. Ederson's making his way out. John Stones, Nathan Ake, Aymeric Laporte, Sergio Gomez, Manuel Akanji, Rico Lewis. Got Kalvin Phillips, Aymeric Laporte, Jack Grealish, Bernardo Silva, Cole Palmer. Big man Erling Haaland coming out at the back as well. And this is what it's all about for these football players. These players join Manchester City because they want to win the Premier League. They want to win the big trophies. That's why they're here. I'll tell you right now, these players will be starving of success. Plenty of success over the previous seasons, but they want it every season. And these players, they want to lift this trophy, and they're just going to get the taste that they want more. They want the FA Cup. They want the Champions League. They want the treble. As Pep Guardiola, the first first person to receive their Premier League winners' medal for Manchester City. Julian Alvarez, Riyad Mahrez. What's that thing in the middle of the badge that Scott Carson has? I can't work out what it is. Stefan Ortega-Moreno gets himself a winner's medal. Ederson's next up. Fair credit to them Chelsea fans that have stayed to watch the title celebrations. There's not many, but there are some. Fair credit to them. Johnny Stones next up to get his Premier League winner's medal. Nathan Ake, the next one up for Manchester City. Aymeric Laporte, the next one up. Got his hair blue for the occasion along with Ederson. Gets himself another Premier League winner's medal, and it might be Aymeric Laporte's last. It might be his last appearance at the Etihad. We don't know. Sergio Gomez getting himself his first major trophy of his career and his first Premier League winner's medal. Again, it's why these players join Manchester City. They want to win the big honours. They never get bored of this. This is what it's all about. This is the dream. Manuel Akanji getting his first Premier League trophy. Join Manchester City for the bargain price of £15 million from Borussia Dortmund in the summer. And ended up being one of the steals of the season. Rico Lewis getting his first major trophy with Manchester City, getting himself a winner's medal as well. And Rico Lewis, a player relatively unheard of before the World Cup split came back in November and December. I think Pep Guardiola's just gone over to show his appreciation. Kalvin Phillips getting his first major trophy of his career as well. Again, another reason why he joined Manchester City. It's what it's all about. To have that success, it's something he'll remember forever. Rico Lewis is getting blessed by Pep Guardiola. Jack Grealish getting himself another Premier League winner's medal. Joined from Aston Villa because he wants to win these big trophies, and he gets himself another Premier League winner's medal. Fantastic to see. Absolutely fantastic to see. And what a crop of players that City have got. Pep Guardiola pulling Jack in. Bernardo Silva winning another Premier League with Manchester City. 5 Premier League trophies for him. Bernardo. I hope this isn't the last time we see Bernardo Silva at Manchester City. I really... Pep Guardiola having the time of his life in the background. I love that. I love that. The chant of the Bernardo Silva running down the wing. Cole Palmer getting himself his first major trophy with Manchester City as well. Putting a good performance for City today. Getting himself a Premier League winner's medal. Here he is. Here he is. Erling Haaland getting himself his Premier League winner's medal. First ever Premier League winner's medal. Alfie's there enjoying it, getting the moment for his son. The Spider, Julian Alvarez, getting himself his Premier League winner's medal, his first one as well. Good to see. Grabbing in the winning goal for Manchester City today for this 1-0 victory. Here comes the Algerian king himself, Riyad Mahrez. Grabbing himself another Premier League winner's medal, his 5th with Manchester City. He's won one with Leicester as well. 6 times Premier League champion individually there for Riyad Mahrez. Phil Foden can't stop winning Premier Leagues. His 5th Premier League title at the age of just 22. An outstanding achievement there for Foden. And he gets himself his 2022-2023 winner's medal as well. Rodri, one of the most outstanding players that we've had, incredibly consistent, covered so many minutes for Manchester City this season, getting himself another Premier League winners medal, which is great to see. Ruben Dias, fantastic player, grabbing himself another Premier League winners medal. He is my level of professionalism that I'm looking for. His game face is always on. Jack Grealish joking around. There's another joker around her. Kyle Walker grabbing himself another Premier League winners medal. Didn't know what to do with the camera there. Gets a little pat on the back from Super Ruben Dias. De Bruyne getting himself another Premier League winners medal. He was meant to be a £55 million flop, remember? And here we are. Not so much. Kevin De Bruyne, his 10th major trophy with Manchester City. He's got 2 more available to him by the end of the season. And here's the captain, Ilkay Gundogan. Someone pointed out he's the first Manchester City player to lift the Premier League trophy as captain first that isn't bold. As the trophy gets handed over to Ilkay Gundogan, one of the representatives for the city and the community, 33 years of service there, hands the trophy over. Gundogan teases the players, trophy in hand, and Manchester City are the Premier League champions for the 2022-2023 season. And Ilkay Gundogan has the trophy aloft, and Manchester City can celebrate what today has been all about. The pyrotechnics go off, the staff and the coaches go off to join the players, and this is fantastic. And as someone says, right there, Julia, champions, Mixed, get Gundogan that new contract. We want Ilkay Gundogan with his lifetime contract. Many, many, many important goals for Manchester City. Erling Haaland with the champagne. They're going to spray the players. Champions rings out. And this is a day to saviour for Manchester City. And Gundogan now faces his big choice. Who do I give the trophy to? Who wants to go and lift it next? This has been an outstanding achievement for Manchester City. And I'm hoping this is going to be the first of 3 bits of success that City can taste this season. We will enjoy today. We will rest tomorrow. And we will prepare for the rest of the season from the day after. Because we've got an FA Cup to go and win. We've got a Manchester United to go and beat. We've got an Istanbul to travel to. And we've got an Inter Milan to go and conquer to win the prestigious treble. The first of 3, as the banner said, as City invaded. And Erling Haaland is the man that's given the trophy from Gundogan. The main man himself. 36 Premier League goals so far this season. He is happy. He is a very happy man. All 6'4" of Erling Haaland trotting around. They go and enjoy it, the players do, with the South Stand. And what an achievement for Manchester City. Thank you very much, Mixed. Thank you very much, Dad, as well. Much appreciated. Fantastic to see. Haaland celebrates with the fans. He gets sprayed from Walker and De Bruyne with the champagne. It's just awesome. The feeling of winning never gets old. Jackie G's the first player to be pulled off by the Sky Sports studio to go and do his interview. He'll be the first of many that will get pulled across, I am sure. Rightio, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for the support throughout this Premier League season. We will be back again Wednesday night for the penultimate away game away at Brighton and Hove Albion, where there'll be more rotation, more enjoyment, more records to be broken, and I'll be with you guys there every single step of the way. 2 big Premier League games to go. We'll have live streams for both them Premier League games for you guys to look forward to. So thank you so much for tuning in. I'm going to sit here, have a drink, relax, celebrate and party how I see fit, and I will have my review video out as well for you guys to look forward to from this game, as I'm not too sure many people will care too much about that. They'll care more about the celebration, so we'll speak more about that in my review as well. Thank you so much for watching. Cheers, everybody. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up, subscribe, Well, social media links, they're in the description below and on the yellow banner too. If you want to go and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram, email also in the description too. If you want to hit me up for any sponsorships or any videos or any general business inquiries. What else have we got? Leave your thoughts in the live chat if you're still live here. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Finally, I would say a big thank you to BetMate for sponsoring today's video. Links and details to them there in the description below and on the live chat too. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you all again real soon. So I've been JSGC. Go on, Party Blues. Peace. Ciao for now.